calm down. The show is about to start. Reese on the radio. Turn it up. Turn it up low. Turn it up loud.
It's like a dream come true.
Turn on your radio. Reese is on the radio.
Yo, let's get it.
Due to the nature of this program, discretion does not exist. It's Reese on the radio. Right now on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Yeah! They almost caught me slipping. What's going on, all you scallywags, nutmeggers, conversationalists, men, women, young people, and I'll never forget you haters. It's Reese on the radio on WTIC News Talk 1080. So this morning I woke up, Roland, and the scratchy thing went from throat to sinuses, right above the roof of the mouth, in the back. It was literally, it's like, it's transferring like some weird virus. And now it's not in the throat anymore. I can swallow, it's weird. But I woke up this morning, I went, holy moly, that son of a gun moved. The whole thing, the infection just moved. That means it's out the door. I'm going to, like right now it's at the mucus stage. I hate to be gross, sorry folks. But yeah, it's at that phase now. With stuffiness all in the nose and the nasal area and all that stuff. So, I feel better, but it's just right here. It feels like someone is holding my nose like with their whole hand. It's a weird feeling.
Yeah,
so,
you gotta, I just been taking, usually when I take a shower it's like nice warm temperature.
Yes.
But now I put the temperature up a little hotter. Just as much as I could take it.
So open up the sinuses and that stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't stand like really, really hot water.
Nope.
Although Roseanne, on the other hand, she likes
burning.
Oh my goodness. You could boil her water 3 days.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be hot enough.
This is crazy.
She wants flesh removing hot. I was like, ugh, what is wrong with you?
I think that's a woman thing.
Yeah, it might be. I mean, I like hot showers, but I'm like, I don't want to. Like, nobody should sweat.
Yeah, you shouldn't be sweating in the shower.
It's insane. But yeah, so I'm feeling it. Like I said, when I get sick, 12 hours. That's it. It's never more than a day. And I'm back at it. So I love the fact that I still have that immune system. So I'm on the mend. And you guys didn't even notice it in my voice yesterday. I'm still noticing it, though. I got to sit with me every day. So
nasally.
Yeah. It's a little nasally. So I'm getting through it in the whole 9 yards. Now, you got to help me out for a second.
Okay.
Give me a minute. I'm going to do my opening monologue. And then, of course, I want to hear from you because I know you're all in on this, what I'm about to talk about.
Uh-oh.
So I'm going to be absolutely hateful for a couple of minutes.
Okay.
And then after I am 100% hateful, then you can come in and we can talk about whatever you want to talk about on the subject. Okay?
All right.
Give me that moment.
Do your thing.
Now, folks, everybody sit down and relax. You might know on the Reese on the Radio program, I am popularly known as the pop culture and politics critic. It's the critic of politics and pop culture. That has always been who I am. Since my beginnings in this medium. Because I like politics, I like pop culture, and sometimes they intertwine. And nothing intertwined more like last night. As the President of the United States goes down to Madison Square Garden to go watch the Knicks play basketball against the San Antonio Spurs. Weirdly enough, my wife and I should be taking this rivalry personally. She's from San Antonio, me being from New York. Let me be 100% honest with you when I say, I don't give two damns about the Knicks. I'm a Celtics fan. All right? So that we understand each other. Sorry about that. I just went to the wrong place there.
Can you look at the 250 and say there are things to celebrate?
What did I just do? Sorry. I am a Celtics fan. I don't give two damns about New York sports, with the exception of the Jets. That's it. That's all I care about are the Jets. And I'm a glutton for punishment. It's the only thing New York about me. Giants, Yankees, Mets, I still like the Mets. Mets are personal to me. 1986, my favorite team, one of my favorite players of all time, Ray Knight. So I don't really got a lot of hate for the Mets. They're going nowhere, so I don't have to really worry about them. Neither are the Jets. They're just here to be a bane of my existence. But as far as basketball, because the Knicks, I stopped rooting for the Knicks as soon as I saw OJ on the run. I knew it was over then. I said they're never going to win another one. But I'm supposed to take it serious that all anyone could talk about was the fact that President Trump got booed at Madison Square Garden, a place where he had courtside seats, a place that he is a fan of, the Knicks, and is a hometown boy from Queens like myself. That we were supposed to chuckle and feel good about the fact that New Yorkers booed the President of the United States, one of their hometown guys. And I'm watching Rachel Maddow. Rachel Maddow, giddy as all get out. He's always had an axe to grind with Donald Trump. So to see him all giddy, that meant nothing to me. I'm like, Rachel's being Rachel. Dude's always got a problem with Donald Trump. I wasn't surprised. I wasn't stunned. The fact that you're getting giddy over booze, that means you're losing. Reggae Don sent me a text and said, "You see that? They booed your president at Madison Square Garden. They didn't boo Barack Obama." What, the puppy president? Everybody's favorite little puppy? You can't boo a puppy. That's what he was. He was everybody's little black president. Hey, there's Barack Obama. He's on the sidelines. He's so cute. Well, he was of no consequence. People didn't like anything about Barack Obama, but you had to. You were forced to. You were put under the microscope if you had anything to say about Barack Obama. He was the most well-protected, media-wise and beyond, of any president known to man. You couldn't criticize him. How dare you? Well, they didn't boo him because you're not supposed to. Do you think that if any Madison Square Garden or any basketball arena had booed Barack Obama? Think about this. Barack Obama stands up at the NBA Finals and the crowd boos him. Management would have found every person in the crowd and would have revoked their season tickets. Are you kidding me? They would have called that crowd unruly. They would have been completely canceled. The puppy president, he had to be protected at all costs. So Barack Obama stands up and they go, yeah. Whatever, dude, whatever, I know. Nobody's trying to hear that nonsense. Are you trying to compare the two? But listen, let me get this 100% clear. New York and New York fans and Bob Duff. Hey, Bob Duff, check your X account. I responded to you. You silly little comment talking about how Donald Trump ruins everything. Really? Did Donald Trump miss 5 free throws in the third? Most of you are petty. Yesterday showed a perfect example of how petty you are. But all of you who were saying Donald Trump ruins everything and how he's making it bad for New York, let me ask you this simple question. Why didn't I hear anything last night or this morning about the savagery that happened in New York City? I watched a video of a San Antonio Spurs fan being curb stomped outside Madison Square Garden because of the Knicks loss. Where's your condemnation for that? I didn't hear anything. But who's the only person here who told you that New York City was a garbage dump and I can't wait until they burn it to the ground? You're over here celebrating the fact that those folks were booing Donald Trump. But guess what, folks? You got exactly what New York is. They can't even win or lose, so for that matter, lose a game gracefully. They were so petty and so childish that people had to have their jerseys ripped off their body and attacked. While you folks are online talking about Donald Trump ruined everything. Really? Who made those savages act like a bunch of animals? You all have egg on your face today because you look stupid. What exactly were you booing? What exactly were you booing? A man who took his time to come down there and root for a team who he's celebrated for more years than any of you, some of you combined. A man who is New York through and through and never got bitter at the fact that you guys have treated him like dirt ever since he ran against your sacred cow, Hillary Clinton, who's from Illinois, who got into politics by pretending to be a New York senator. Yes, she ain't from New York. You can't even respect one of your owns. What do you own? A guy who changed the landscape, the landscape of New York City with buildings and all. And you booed him. And you guys thought that do you think you won the day? Do you think, yeah, that'll show him? Let me say this. And I'm being 100% honest. I swear to God, I hope the Knicks are done. I don't want them to win nothing. Never have. Not a fan. That upsets you. Sorry. I'm just standing on my own too, and I'm being consistent. Don't care about the Knicks. I'm a Celtics fan. I am a Celtics fan. And as far as I'm concerned, basketball means nothing to me until Boston's there. Just is. Lakers, all of them, don't care. Knicks haven't been there in 27 years. Let's make it 28. Hell, let's go 30. Let's go, San Antonio. Let's go. Let's go. Whatever your name is, Wabajambe, whatever, big tall homie, whatever your name is, Wabajambe, yeah, knock him out the box, homie. Okay, just stay in the paint and knock down everything. Every one of those shots, Wabajambe, whatever your name is. I'm just done. I'm done. And you played yourself yesterday. The fact that you lost the game and people had to be curb stomped, that people had to be attacked because you could not show any degree of sportsmanship. You're in a championship to put the city back on the map, to be in good graces, and you acted like a bunch of animals. And you think we're supposed to celebrate you? I'm not celebrating that. I hope they lose. And if you're in Connecticut and you're a Knicks fan, so? And what? I still hope you lose. And if you don't, and this is the same thing that happened in 2004. And this is the reason, this is where this is coming from. So you get a little bit of an origin story here. When I got up here in 2004 and I watched that American League series against the Boston Red Sox and the Yankees, and the Yankees looked like they were going to take it all the way, and I watched Boston. I'm sitting in Manchester. I'm watching Boston come all the way back from a 3-0 deficit to win that series. That was literally, I'm from New York. I wasn't even a Boston fan like that. But to watch it made me really respect the team. And of course, one of my favorite players, second favorite ever, is Big Papi, baby. Big Papi. Still love Big Papi. I think I love Big Papi more than the Dominicans do. But when I watched that series, and I watched that happen live with my friends here, Chris B in the house too, everybody at that TGI Fridays in Manchester, I felt, wow, I was a part of something big, history. Over 80 years of struggle. I'll never forget the sign in the stands. You know, I could finally die in peace. It was a beautiful celebration. And then got back to New York. And you know what New Yorkers said? It don't matter. It ain't nothing. Couldn't even show grace then. It was when after the World Series, after the World Series, it was in that moment I said, screw the Yankees. I'm done. You couldn't even show grace. You couldn't even say, damn, Those guys fought hard to beat us. After the years of getting our butts handed to them, they came back and they took us to 4 games. Absolutely impossible odds for them to do it. And they did. And should have just said, attaboy. But you couldn't do it. You hated on them still. And they went and got the chip. And now I'm looking at this. And because people just can't accept the fact that the Knicks played moderately well. Where's the defense, guys? Seriously, where's the defense, guys? 20 points in the fourth quarter? 20 points in the fourth quarter? 20 points in the fourth quarter? Anyway, you deserve everything you got. And you deserve to lose. And you deserve the Donald Trump curse. You booed him and you lost. Okay. You better go all the way. You better. Because if you lose, nobody's going to be happy to me. Prove me wrong. Hell, it'd be nice if San Antonio won again anyway. Wabajambe, he needs one. He deserves it. Is that his name? Wabajambe? Roland is rolling his eyes and shaking his head while I call this kid Wabbage. What's his name? What's his name?
Victor.
Yes.
Wimbenyama.
Wimbenyama?
There you go.
Oh, it's Wimbenyama. Okay. I thought it was Wabajambe. Let's take a break. I like my name better.
This is, folks, this is what I have to deal with every day.
That's Wabajambe. It's a great name. That should totally be the name. We'll be back.
Fan of WTIC? Then do us a favor. Download the free Odyssey app and favorite WTIC.
Yeah, man, we're back. Reese on the radio. Taco Tuesday. Viva Trump. Let's go. Viva Trump. Let's go Spurs. No doubt, Alex. Greg says there's nothing funnier than Reese cracking Reese up. Makes him laugh every time. I'm sorry, that Wabujambe thing, I didn't know what his name was, but I knew it was something close. What was it again, Roland?
Wimbenyama.
What?
Wimbenyama.
Yes. Willy Wonka, whatever. I don't really care.
They call him Wimby for short.
They do. I understand they call him Wimby. That's right. Right. Exactly. Can I take Dave real quick?
Go ahead.
Let me grab him first. Dave, the bus driver. How you doing, sir?
Reese, great radio show. I listen to every day.
Thank you, sir.
But I got to tell you, I find it kind of amusing that you're rooting for the Spurs.
Yes.
Because I bet the Spurs in early October.
Okay.
At 50-1.
Did you?
I put 200 on them at 50-1 in early October.
Ooh.
So I hope you're right, bro. I'll talk to you later, man.
You got it, man. Thank you. Good luck to you, Dave.
He should have cashed out soon as they made the finals.
Yeah.
They would have because my boy did that same bet.
Uh-huh.
He cashed out $1,000 off a $50 bet. So
not bad.
Just for them making it.
It can't get better than that.
Yeah.
So, listen, I know that I'm being cruel here, but
yeah.
I don't care because, like I said, the Knicks have been garbage since Patrick Ewing, and they just have been. And I don't, again, that
they had
team.
Some spurts.
Pardon?
They had some spurts.
Sure they did. In fact, I thought the Amari Stoudemire acquisition.
They had a chance.
I thought they had a chance then. I loved that team.
They drafted Carmelo and that kind of.
That ruined everything.
They did pretty well with him, but they weren't going to win a championship.
Yeah, everything. Their whole team was always a nail biter.
Yeah.
That was the biggest problem with the Carmelo Anthony era. And it was, again, when your team becomes, it's the star and his reality star or MTV star wife. I'm like, you're straight garbage. I'll never forget when the Knicks, when Lamar Odom started dating, what's her name? Gargantuan. What was
Khloe
her name?
Kardashian.
Khloe Kardashian. I'm sorry. I called her Bigfoot. Back in the days. Come on.
O.J. Simpson
Jr. when they were dating. I'll never forget. They were in New York City for this photo thing that was going as this basketball thing at the, I want to say it was the Beacon Theater, but it may have been somewhere else. The news went out there to go talk to Khloe Kardashian. Not even Lamar Odom. Yeah. I'm like, hey, he's from Queens. He's from Queens. And the New York news station did not even interview him. They talked to Khloe Kardashian, the least attractive and tallest member of the family.
Yeah, but she's still a member of that family.
Yes, I know. But it was just, again, I just thought it was absolutely corny. Anyway, so I never really felt basketball in that. The only time I could tell you was when, the big three.
John Starks.
No.
Patrick Ewing.
No.
Oakley.
No, Patrick Ewing has got to be, with all due respect, and folks, don't get me mad. I don't think I'm the most attractive person in the world, but Patrick Ewing is probably the most unattractive basketball star to ever live.
No.
Who, there was somebody uglier than him?
Dikembe.
Okay, he runs a tight second. But anyway, I remember the Knicks back then. Patrick Ewing was a big deal in New York, of course, Georgetown alum that, God bless the guy. But, and I'll even admit, with most of my friends growing up, they loved Starks. Mm-hmm. That was everybody's favorite. Everybody loved Starks. He's light skin. That's when the light skinned brothers were real big. LL Cool J, all of them. But everybody liked John Starks. And I'll admit, there was Knicks fever even then. And then, all of a sudden, you have the 1994, right? Was that it? 94 finals?
99.
No.
That's when they went. It was 99.
No. We're talking about, no, they didn't win in 99.
Not win. That's when they went to the finals.
Oh, well, I'm talking about the OJ era.
OJ, you talking about?
That's 94, 95. When they were playing against Houston Rockets.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that era. When the whole thing was preempted by the slow chase by O.J. Simpson and the police. You don't remember that? That's in the early mid-90s. You don't remember that? You gotta look that up.
I remember the O.J. situation. I don't remember who won the finals. Yeah,
Knicks versus Houston Astros.
Houston Astros.
Houston Rockets. Houston Rockets.
94, yep.
94, yeah. I remember that. The whole game was preempted following, it was live on air when it was, I want to say it was Len Berman. Had to have been. I could be wrong. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I doubt it. Len Berman was on television and broadcast that in the middle of that slow-speed chase, Hertz Rent-A-Car had fired O.J. Simpson. It was the most peculiar press release known to man. They actually sent a press release out that says, we understand O.J. is in a slow-speed chase. We'd like to inform people that O.J. has been let go by the Hertz Rent-A-Car company. It's the worst thing ever. I was like, damn, he got fired on his day off. That was weird. But I've never been a Knicks fan that day. That night, in fact, during that series, which of course the Knicks lost.
Yeah, 7 games.
Yeah, my sister's husband, Anthony, got into a fight with my best friend at the time, Jamie Montgomery, and they broke the front door to my apartment building. And it was a glass door because Jamie threw Anthony right through it. It was the worst night ever. It was just a horrible night. And we were all getting together for the NBA Finals, and it was in that moment, I was like, it was the worst moment ever, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm just done. I'm never ever going to watch the Knicks again. I was over. But
that's personal stuff.
Yes, and I always sports are personal.
Yeah, but you can't. I'm not going to let my boy John Silver go out like that.
Oh, John Silver's a Knicks fan?
Huge Knicks fan.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, John.
So I did warn him yesterday. I said, hey, I know you're happy. You're up 2-0.
You
the
warned
mojo
him.
Is messed up right now with Trump coming to the game.
Oh, come on. Really?
Yeah, it's not that who he is. If it doesn't matter what president it was. If a president is coming to a home game to see you play and you're up 2-0, that's like tons of added pressure.
Good point.
You want to because you want to win that game.
Yes.
Because the president is there to see you play.
20 points in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, you can't win with that.
20 points in the fourth quarter, you can't win with that.
So all of that, I just told him, I said, don't be mad if you guys don't, measure up.
Yeah, but that's all right. And you believe it's going to go 7 anyway, right?
Well, minimum 6. It ain't. I just knew it wasn't going to be a sweep because the NBA wouldn't allow all that money. You know how many eyes are on this finals?
Yeah.
More eyes than ever before. Well, not ever before, but in a long time.
Yeah, I agree.
So they want that. They want to make. They're trying to make $1 billion, $2 billion off of this series if they can.
All right, we'll see. By the way, my friend Chris B is.
It's going to be 2-2 going back to Spurs. Just so you know.
I think so. I don't think that the Knicks should win. I think the Knicks should win at home.
They should, but they're not.
They should though. What is it? 3 games in San Antonio?
No, it's 2-2, 1-1-1. That's how it goes. So the next game is in New York. They're going to lose. Knicks are going to lose that because they want it to go 6 or 7. So
you think they're going to lose again on Wednesday?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be bad.
It's going to be 2-2 because they went to San Antonio and beat them on their home floor twice. So they're going to let the Spurs return a favor, beat them on their home floor twice. Then the Spurs are going to go back and possibly win.
Win one?
Win 1 out of the next 3. And the Knicks may win 4-3.
All right, it looks good. Chris B, actually, I was just talking about him being with me at the TGI Fridays. He says, indeed, I was in the house at TGI Fridays as a Yankee fan, was devastated, but impressed at the same time. Even wearing my Yankees hat, I still went around the room and congratulated Boston fans. Exactly right.
Well, yeah, everybody's not like that, though.
Yeah, I get the whole thing.
I'm not beating nobody up on the corner, though.
Exactly. It was like, we lost a basketball game. Someone's got to die. Like, what? What are you talking about?
You got to understand, though, this is a big error of betting a lot of money.
Yeah, that much I do understand.
You're not, if you're a diehard team, plus you put $1,000 or $2,000 on it and you lost.
Yep.
Now somebody got to pay.
Yeah. I don't know. This is the reason why I don't even get involved in that. But, okay, if I was Donald Trump, I would say, so when's that next game?
He was supposed to go to both of them.
He should go to both of them. He should. I don't care. Know. Just go. If Donald Trump is the jinx, let's go, Donald. Let's go. Let's go.
Nah, I don't.
Let's go. That's right.
They need to bring it back to regularly scheduled programming.
Here's what I want them to do. Listen up. I want Donald Trump to show up, right? Mm-hmm. And them to believe that it's a jinx. And maybe, possibly, the guys will not believe in the bad juju and actually score more than 20 points in the fourth quarter. That's all.
And 20 points is not terrible.
It's what?
It's not terrible.
What?
There's been quarters where in this playoffs this year where teams have scored like 11 points.
How many points did San Antonio put up in the fourth quarter? Did you see the numbers? I saw the box score.
Like 30-20?
No. 23.
Oh, yeah, so there you go. 23-20, that's...
You can win! What was the score, Jeff? What was the score breakdown?
Man. Defense.
You think that was defense? You think there's defense in basketball? With 100 and what was the score? 115 to 111?
Yeah.
Was that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah. 115.
That was their highest scoring game so far.
Yes, exactly. A higher scoring game. That is not a defense. The way that the game is played now.
Yeah.
Okay.
The way that the game is played now.
Offensive heavy.
That's defense.
What are you talking about?
Anytime you get a low 100-point scoring game, that's defense. Because now the scores is like 135 to 128. 128 to 122.
I don't believe it.
All season long it's been like that.
I know. No, don't get me wrong.
And in playoffs.
I know that. First of all,
look, the Knicks just swept the last 2 series, winning by like 43 points.
Yes, I'm well aware of that. But my bottom line is, well, first of all, it's a lot of 3-point shooting as a part of that.
Yeah, there you go.
That's clearly why. But my bottom line is like, first of all, if you're playing outside the paint, okay, at the 3-point line, that's boring basketball to me. It's part of the reason why I don't even watch it anymore. And I kind of blame Steph Curry because now everybody's figuring it's like, oh, that's how we could win. So everybody's playing that way.
Man, it's nothing like seeing that long range 3.
It's good, man, but after a while it gets oversaturated. Look, I loved it when Ray Allen was doing it when he was with the Knicks. I mean, sorry, with the Celtics and with what do you call it? With the Heat.
Oh,
no, he was playing the Heat. I loved it. From the corner, Allen. I'm like, it was fantastic. It was beautiful. Now it's like, oh, yeah, he's going to shoot another 3.
I love seeing. I'm a shooter, so I love seeing it.
I get it. I know the game is a shooter's game. It's not really a lot of finesse. It's is a dunk layup or a three. Yeah, even the dunks seem lackluster
no,
now.
No.
I got to see more dunks.
Never get tired of the dunk.
No, I'll never get tired of them. I'm just saying.
Wemby is unfair because it doesn't even look like he's jumping.
Wabajambe? Yeah, he's got a 2-inch vertical. All right, we got to take a break. We'll come back. More news, more views when we return. It's Reese on the radio.
It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Speaking of which, I'm going to the Yard Goats game tonight versus New Hampshire Fisher Cats at 7:10. I'm taking Roseanne out there. She really did love that stadium, and she's excited to go. So we got tickets to go there tonight. We're going to go hang out there. Speaking of sports, Roland just told me that Donald Trump and James Dolan were sleeping during the game, which makes sense to me. Boring ass game. It was after 8, 9 o'clock. Nap time, exactly. Grandpa's got to take a nappy nap. Like, what the heck is he doing at a basketball game anyway? I mean, I know he wants to root for them because it's a big deal, but, whatever. Like I said, everyone is sitting around here like, ho, they booed him. I was like, yes, they also curb stomped a bunch of San Antonio fans. What are you celebrating about? What's it, that New Yorkers have a good judge of character? You must be stupid. And someone said to me, he's like, what did he say? Oh, he said, Barack Obama didn't get booed. I just got a message from John Silva. John Silva says, I don't think that we can be friends if you keep knocking my Knicks. I'm not. John, come on, cut me some slack, man. Come on. I'm a former New Yorker, and they let me down. I know he loves them. I wish you all the best, John Silva. Don't be mad at me. This is just one of those things where, I saw New York behave like New York behaves. Come on. But, good luck to you. It should be told. Biden would have been in bed by 4 p.m. He wouldn't have made it to the game. Good point, Lori. Hunter says that the NBA condemns defense. And, Deborah, I promise we'll talk about the California election, although I kind of feel like that's a circular, that's called what we call the circular file. To even talk about California's elections. We know what mess that is, but I'll talk about that a little bit. When we come back, we're going to talk about this story that I know, speaking of John Silva, is going to bring up, and that is the pay that Erin Stewart is being asked to get back to the city of New Britain. And we have a lot of the numbers here. And I've got one question to ask. How the hell is she going to pay this back? The numbers, the money that they're asking for, folks, we're not talking about small beans here. We're talking about 6 figures. And they want their money back in about 2 months, less than 2 months. In one case, we'll break it all down when we get back. And most importantly, I got to bring up Ned Lamont. I know he was here on Brian's show. They keep him away from me, by the way. When Lamont comes into the studio, they go, does Reese know? Does Reese know? Bring him in through the back. Just look out. Somebody stand guard. Make sure Reese isn't coming in early. But I got to play this audio from yesterday. Do you remember when Ned Lamont put on this big, giant show about SB 397? Remember how big of a deal it was? Susan Bisowich is there. AG Tong was there. Tong. He was there. Even Richard Blumenthal was there. We're going to sign this bill, 397. They were all excited. Clap, everybody. No masks, no churches, no schools. Let's sign this big, important bill. Well, the audio I'm about to play to you, I told you ahead of time, this was a bunch of pageantry for no reason. It was stupid. It was a waste of ink. I don't know how much money the taxpayers had to pay for this show. But Lamont's own mouth proves that this guy does he think he's a Kardashian? Is he literally like running a campaign on social media posts? Is that what he thinks he's going to get reelected doing that? Oh, and I also hear now that he's worried that Josh Elliott is going to get nasty during this primary. Do you know what that means, folks? I'll tell you what it means. Yes! Yes! It's gonna get nasty! And I already know how. I already know how nasty it's gonna get. Josh? Oh, go in the gutter. Please. Get dirty. I want you to get dirty. No one wants this more than me. So bad. It's not infighting. No, not like that. I don't want the Democrats infighting. I want Josh to do exactly what I know he's going to do. Don't you dare pull no punches. You go in. You go in, and you go in for what we call the theoretical political kill. You understand me? Don't you let up. Don't you play nice. I know. Don't worry. You're going to do great. I've got faith in you. Sit back, and I'm going to grab some Orville Redenbacher popcorn, and I'm going to enjoy every bit of it. Yes, Lamont knows it's going to get nasty, and I hope it gets dirty.
Reese on the radio, making sense of the news. Yeah, even when it makes no sense at all. Now on WTIC, News Talk 1080.
All right, we're back. Reese on the radio. Make sure that you check out The Rundown with Reese on the radio. You can find it on Facebook. And it is what we're doing is we're sort of working it out. The website's coming soon. We already have the website address. It's called therundownnews.org, therundownnews.org. You'll be able to see, and what this is in essence is going to be not just a news aggregate site like the CT Capitol Report or Drudge Report for that matter. What we're going to do is cover the coverage. So if there's a story out there that's being written by whomever, the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, the Washington Post, the Hartford Courant, if it is a story that affects you and affects us, and those stories are questionably written, we will go after them and we will make sure that the facts are clear. In essence, we are holding them responsible for their reporting. And the only thing that you need to do is to find said stories and then share them. Share them with the people. You don't have to editorialize. We'll do all of that. Share those stories. Get them out there. This is combating the news. Instead of complaining about the news media, make sure they complain about us, that we're holding them to account. Remember, they used to be the sort of the gatekeepers of fact-checking. We're going to do our due diligence to make sure that everything is, all the T's are crossed, all the I's are dotted on news. And it's going to be done, and we're going to be fair. Whoever it is, whatever story it is, we're going to scrutinize that story. Think about stories about Joe Magnano. Stories about the election, story about, cheating in elections. When people write articles about that, we will get to the nitty gritty. And beauty of it is that you'll be able to forward those stories to us and tell us, hey, this story lacks facts. We need to get something out there. So we'll get it out there. And of course, we'll have reporting from other people like Mike Ortiz and Eddie Torres. And, of course, my guest today, who is DM Livingston from the Waterbury Times, who will be here at 4 o'clock. We'll talk to him as well. Can't wait till we do that. So stand by. So as you heard at the top of the hour news with John Silva, who may still be mad at me about my Knicks critique, we'll work on it. We got to work together. Erin Stewart has received a demand letter from the Corporation Counsel William C. Rivera, and it lays out exactly what the investigation found and what the city wants back, with deadlines to boot. First, the separation payout. Stewart received $121,978.88 towards what was calculated as a $150,949 exit package for unused vacation and other time. The city's investigations say that number doesn't follow the rules. Under the long-standing formula used for outgoing mayors, the same one tied to the Local 1186 contract, the minimum she was eligible for was just $14,275. That means The city is asking for $107,703.08 to be accurate. They want that taxpayer money back by August 1st, less than 2 months from now. The second thing they want back is $31,561.54. That's from the city and her master degree program with the administration paid at the University of New Haven. Those payments were never approved by the Common Council. The city says that makes them unauthorized under the Connecticut Constitution, state law, and the city charter. That money is expected back on September 1st, less than 3 months from now. The third is a pension. After 12 years of service, Stewart had secured a city pension. The investigation found that she was explicitly told back on December 3rd of 2020 and acknowledged back in 2020 that she was not eligible under Section 15-9 of the city charter. The pension is now revoked. On top of that, the city wants her to cover the cost of figuring all of this out, which is another $102,294. That's in attorney fees and the investigation costs. They want that back by July 1st. Less than a month. Less than a month. That means it brings a grand total, folks, of all the money, a grand total of $240,000. That's right, almost $250,000. With most of it or some of it to be paid within a month, 2 months, and 3 months away. And I don't know about you, so you're going to have to call me. What do you do if you got to pay this money back? You got to file bankruptcy, right? What do you do? I mean, I don't know if it's going to be attached to anything criminal, but what do you do? You're being asked to pay $250,000. And somebody said in the chat room that Erin has a lot of friends. It was Robert says. He says, Reese, I'm sure Erin has friends that will bail her out with paying back New Britain. They won't let her go to jail. I don't think they're going to have a choice here. And I don't know with her. Do you think that she could come up with $250,000? The latest by September? I mean, a large number of this money. How much do they want by August? $107,000 by August 1st. The $31,000, they want that by September 1st. Well, at least that's the least of all of them. The $102,000 in attorney fees, they want that by July 1st. That's less than a month away. Less than a month away. What are you supposed to do? I have no idea. Maybe, do you get empty your savings, or I hope she has some savings. I do. I mean, you may have to dip into the kids' college funds for that. What do you do? I don't know what you do. Or be like Al Sharpton and avoid the rap. I don't know. Can you do that? So Michael A. says, call Frank from Woodbridge. I don't think Frank's got that kind of dough. I don't care how much gold he's invested in. I don't think he's got that kind of scratch, as they say. Let me take Bill in Granby real quick. Bill, what do you got? How do you pay this money back if it's you?
That's a really good question. I think a GoFundMe might be the best way, because I think there's a lot of Republicans in Connecticut that know how crooked Lamont is, and they might, if they knew the money was going to pay off some of this stuff, they might do it. The legal fees, I think she can dismiss those.
Yeah.
If she has good legal representation, I don't think she's entitled. I don't think they can ask her for the legal fees.
Right.
But and then the rest of it, my question is, just because something's not been done before doesn't mean that it's not legal. People innovate and they change rules all the time. Somebody's got to be the first. So
listen to me, Bill, you got to tell me, are you an attorney by any stretch?
No, I'm not an attorney, but if the tuition reimbursement was lawful, then I wouldn't pay it back. If the diapers and all the other things that came to light, that's a bad look. That all has to be paid back.
I agree. That part, I agree with you.
But tuition reimbursement for a CEO that took a $30 million deficit and turned it into a $30 million surplus over some number of 14, 15 years.
Yeah,
that's not outrageous. And
good.
A severance package for somebody like that, for a CEO that performed the way that she did, is also not outrageous. Assuming there's not more diapers and other things that are going to come out.
The only problem I have with it, Bill, and this is, again, where she really, really draws the fire, right? And the scrutiny kind of reaches a fever pitch. It's over $130,000, maybe $140,000 of P card purchases with no receipts attached, which,
right.
You know what I mean? That's the part that makes it look wild and sort of
very wild. It looks really wild. And also where were the financial people in the department that are supposed to be double checking and approving all of her reimbursement requests, making sure that, I've had expense accounts my entire life.
Yeah.
I've never ever been able to put in a $1,500 or $2,000 or $5,000 request for reimbursement without using Concur and without having every single receipt that was necessary to get repaid.
Some people are telling me, though, Bill, on some inside baseball stuff, which I can reveal, they said that the so-called audit that Erin was talking about that was done every year was literally a surface audit. It was not a deep dive.
Well, that would make sense and explain a lot of some of this. But if this stuff is true, the financial controls that were in place, because it's not just her, it's the others that are in the department, the other paid professionals, administrators that had to be in on it, that allowed things to go by.
Exactly.
All of that is bad. So how she pays all of this back, I would contest. A severance package and tuition reimbursement for a CEO is not outrageous. The rest of the stuff looks really bad, but those two things, I would contest those.
So just so I can go to another call, but I want to break this down for you. So you're talking about the fact that she was eligible for a package of $14,000, which means that she was overpaid by $121,978. You mean that she should be held liable to pay that back, right?
Well, so say her adversaries.
This is what they called it. This is toward what was calculated as a $150,000 exit package for unused vacation time. Says the city's investigation says that didn't follow the rules, and she was only eligible for $14,000.
Well, that's what her adversaries say, right? I would get an attorney. If I was her, I would have an attorney push back on that.
Right.
And make a case that everything that she did was lawful and it was fine. If it was,
right.
There's no surprise that her adversaries are alleging these things. And
right.
Trying to
and I totally, I do understand you. Again, according to this report, they're saying that this particular money, the one that I'm talking about right here, was based upon the local 1186 contract that, in essence, she signed, and she is kind of under those guidelines. But you're right. If there is something that suggests that there is no rock solid rule or law that she has abated in some way, you're right. I'd fight it in court, unless it's, of course, if it's concrete, then she's hooked.
Right. This to me is a matter of rule, and her attorney can figure out whether there's any wiggle room. Mm-hmm. The diapers and the rest of the personal purchases, to me, that's a different category.
Yeah, that's outside. Really, that's a separate $149,000 that the receipts didn't account for the P card charges. That's right now. That's technically under criminal investigation.
Right.
That's separate from this. Thank you, Bill. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for the insight.
Take care, Reese.
You got it, sir. Let's go to Mark in West Hartford. What's going on, big guy?
Well, they're going to need a family attorney because guess what they're looking into also, and I'm helping out with doing FOIs, is Aaron Stewart's father was a mayor for 8 years prior to her. Mm-hmm. You don't think people are going to start looking at what he did, how he retired, was he using the P card? So that attorney, I guess it'll be a 2-for-1. But listen, I've counseled many, many friends and family members mm-hmm. who have, found themselves in a tough spot like Aaron Stewart.
Right.
Now, listen, she has an opportunity to make a lot of money.
She does?
And you got to hear me out.
Okay.
Now, if you go back and you look at all the things that she got with ill-gotten money, some of it she's not going to be able to utilize to benefit her to pay this back. So the restaurants, the Hartford Club, golf tournaments, whatever she was doing, that's not going to help her out.
Right.
But do you remember she purchased a few items, personal items, tons of clothes.
That's right.
She had makeup.
That's right.
Makeup, lingerie, and what else? Red bottom shoes, like Roseanne brings up once in a while.
That's right, because Roseanne
had
was
lots of shoes.
Now,
what can a woman do? Now, what can a woman do with different outfits, lots of makeup, bunch of different shoes, and lingerie? How do you capitalize on that? So the very items that she basically stole, she can open up an OnlyFans account.
Mark!
What? Well, why not? It's legal. Unless they, if they repossess those items I just brought up, she always has her feet. There's a way to make some money online.
No, Mark.
Listen, there's already a picture out there. Everybody's seen her with her shoes up on the desk, looking sultry into the camera. You can change out whatever you want and throw.
I don't think it's gotten that desperate now. I think we're going to go with Bill's idea and call an attorney.
You can pay that back in less than a year. I hear the average is about $1,000 a day. By this time next year, she'll pay off the debt.
God bless you.
And then you can make some money after that.
Goodbye.
Anyway, that's my
goodbye. Get me out of here. I'm going with Fred. Fred, get me out of this.
Okay, real quick. Apparently, Mark is channeling White Mike. Yeah, that's what's going on here. I recognized it very quickly. About Erin Stewart, if she possibly can, she wants Norm Pattis.
Norm Pattis?
Yeah. I saw you're commendable for when it kind of first hit a certain level and you said, enough already, she's done, no need to beat this dead horse.
Right.
So that's good, but now I want to take it a step further, like, let's redeem her, free Erin Stewart, and the title of the bit would be Who Among Us, I mean, who's going to resist that kind of temptation? And she was so comfortable doing it. Obviously, as Mark also mentioned, it was the norm. And this happened,
do you think that what happened here in this case is a product of Connecticut politics writ large, that the comfortable nature of which to line your own pockets over and over again, like everywhere we look, from was it Joe Ganim to John Rowland to, I think, who was the other guy who used to be the mayor of not Waterbury? Goodness gracious, I'm trying to think of
the sex thing.
Yeah.
Story there.
Yeah, that was exactly. That had so many tentacles, it was bizarre. But that we just seen it so much in and around, even the McCrory case. We've seen it everywhere in the state. That is just some people say it's either reputation or it's culture, and I think that we're beyond the whole reputation thing and sort of delving into culture here.
Yes, it's a culture. Yes, absolutely. I say that's like that line is in the rear view mirror. And then just another quick one, silly Republicans abusing city credit cards is for Democrats. I've heard several anecdotes already about like low-level Middletown Democrats popping them cards for inappropriate things.
Yeah.
So-and-so was in getting...
and it's funny. It's funny, Fred, that story. It's funny that the Erin Stewart story wasn't new, because last year and the year before we had one case or two cases with P card abuse. After the Erin Stewart story broke, all of a sudden it started breaking everywhere. And like it would seem like now the journalists were like saying, "Hey, it's open season on P cards. Let's start investigating."
Tipping point. Yeah,
exactly.
But in any event, let's just, like same with Michael Jackson. I think he was guilty as hell and absolutely should have been exonerated, because all the hundreds of parents and others who would have had to go down with him, Yeah, so let's just, let's hope she can, take a few Democrats down with it.
Yeah.
And they are being absolutely punitive.
Yeah.
They're being punitive.
I think, like I said, I think that right now, I think it's well established that what we're seeing in Connecticut is a culture of this kind of corruption, and it's always self-serving. And self-benefiting, and that, it's got to change. Again, this is not whether or not it's a right or left thing. I think that this right here is a culture in Connecticut that's got to be stopped. And it's funny because no matter where you look, somebody's doing it, and they're doing it on ridiculous scales. It's not small ball here.
Oh, she's a piker. This is Pendiente. Let me close with it one last time. Who among us? Thank you.
Have a good one. Let's take a break. We'll come back. More news, more views, and your phone calls. Tony, stand by with me. I'll get back to you in a second. It's Reese on the radio.
Spider-Man. Hey, he's your friendly neighborhood Reese on the radio. Right now on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, back and at it. DM Livingston in the house. He's going to be on with us in the next 20 minutes or so. We'll talk to him about the Waterbury Times. If you've not heard of him, you will, and I promise you he'll be on your feed online very soon just by me mentioning him. But go check him out. We'll talk to him. He's in that same space as the Mike Ortiz, the Eddie Torres is, the Johnny Cruz. Waterbury Times covers all the news, and it's more so DM Livingston than it is those guys, they do the story as opposed to themselves, but DM is actually on camera sort of reporting the news, and I want to talk to him. He was one of the first guys I heard about doing this before I even found out about the other guys. So to me, he's like the first person I even sort of dug into doing this kind of what I call street journalism. I hope no one thinks that's me belittling it. Street journalism is, in my view, the appropriate term because they're on the ground doing the journalism that isn't being done by the so-called legacy media. We'll talk to him in a second. Ned Lamont. Do you folks remember all the hoopla? Do you remember all of the nonsense about SB 397? You have to remember it. He made a big deal. He was going to tell everybody in Connecticut, you're safe here. Nothing is going to happen to you because we've signed this Senate bill. We're going to make them take off their masks. We're going to make sure that they're wearing IDs.
And that's what this law is all about. We love you. We care about you. You belong in this state. And I want you to feel like you're at home here. Thanks for this bill. It means a lot.
Yay! Everybody took a victory lap. It was fantabulous. We care about you. We love you. That's why we're signing this bill. We put all of this effort in it. We're going to stop people. Now, me, what did I tell you? Window dressing had no meaning whatsoever. Straight garbage. Nothing there. It was an empty suit, all of it. How do I know? Well, don't take my word for it. Don't take my word for it. You've got to take the word of none other than Mr. Ned Lamont himself when he was asked.
They are, federal officials, but that's our strong set of recommendations for these. Take off the mask. What are you embarrassed about?
What if they continue not to abide by that?
I'm not sure that we can arrest federal officials, but we can...
So what the hell was the point? What was the point? You mean to tell me that all of that, you couldn't do anything? The law is meaningless?
They are, federal officials, but that's our strong set of recommendations for these. Take off the mask. What are you embarrassed about?
We recommend you take off the mask. We signed SB 397 and told everybody, and the news covered it, as if we were going to enforce the law and arrest federal agents if they broke SB 397. And then federal agents waltzed through Connecticut and said, what are you going to do? Arrest me? That's what federal agents said. They're caught on camera saying it. What are you going to do? Somebody going to arrest me? What are the cops? Somebody coming to get me? Arrogantly said, and I'm telling you, I'm not kidding. The reason why there's a video of this, and I was trying to find it, but I didn't have enough time. I will find it. But the reason why there was a federal agent on camera saying, what are you going to do, arrest me? Because the people were in the community going, you can't do that. Lamont signed a law. And the guy said, Yeah, and? What do you think that means? Nothing. And that's the reason why this question was being asked. That's the whole purpose of this question, is the reporter, who should have said it the day they signed the bill, should have said, are you going to really arrest federal agents? Nobody did, not one person.
What if they continue not to abide by that?
I'm not sure that we can arrest federal officials. But
You're not sure? You're not. What do you mean you're not sure? What did you sign the bill for? Why wouldn't anybody be embarrassed by this? Who's voting for this bozo? Who is? And he sits there looking there dumbfounded. This is what you guys... He signed a bill, remember? It's supposed to mean everything.
Strong set of recommendations for these. Take off the mask. What are you embarrassed about?
I think somebody should be asking, what is he embarrassed about?
What if they continue not to abide by that?
I'm not sure that we can arrest federal officials, but we can let them know how strongly we feel about this. I don't know why they continue doing that.
We're going to send them a strongly worded letter. Dear federal officer, we understand that you've ignored our ridiculous bill about not wearing a mask in our state, and you've not taken the things that we said seriously. So we're sending you this strongly worded letter to say, can you please wear your mask? Just please, oh please, oh please, oh please. You're making me look like my laws don't have teeth. Please, just don't wear the mask. People are going to be embarrassed. They're going to look at me like I'm a joke. Just don't wear the mask. Okay, listen. Can you wear an N95 mask and just say it's for COVID? I don't get it, folks. I don't. You should all be saying to this guy, clown show. You should. Clown show. Anyway, promised I get to Tony. Thanks for holding, Tony. How are you?
Good. Very good, buddy.
What's
Thanks
up?
for taking my call.
My pleasure.
4 quick points. Let me run them off to you. Yeah, Lamont is a fake, phony fraud, just like he is with the construction site cameras and all that other things. It's a money grab, right? It's all about a money grab. It's not about our safety or care for others. You're ignorant if you don't believe it. The Erin Stewart thing, maybe she could relinquish some of her assets. Maybe her mortgage is paid off. She'd give up her house, or she might have some other retirement fund. Because if that was me, I wouldn't take a risk unless I had the money to back it up.
Right.
Because that's just stupid if you have money. Like, you don't want to be put in a position where you're going to be in a spot thrown into jail.
But wasn't that kind of the problem here, Tony? You know, look, it's been said, you know, in a lot of circles in politics that part of the reason why Erin was doing a lot of this stuff was because she was, not that she was in arrears, but she felt, and not even that she felt entitled, that she was trying to keep up with the Joneses, as many. I'm going to give her that benefit of the doubt, that being the mayor of a city like New Britain, you want to live amongst or work amongst the people that are kind of on their same level. All the politicians that you know in and around you have sort of portrayed themselves as being the upper echelon. If you don't feel you're meeting that, you try to meet that. But unfortunately, when you do it in an underhanded and highly suspicious way, you have to fall, you have to fall on your sword at some point because it's going to come back and bite you in the rear. That's what happened here.
Right, but yeah, exactly. Most common sense people would not worry about their losses unless they have something to back it up.
Exactly.
Because otherwise you're just straight up stupid.
Yeah. And I think that that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's like you don't think that this is ever going to come back to bite you. It does.
Right.
And you never prepared for that future.
Right. You tapped into, you tapped into the keg, so to speak.
Yeah.
But you knew maybe you could back it up in a worst case scenario.
Indeed. Yeah. Very good point.
Yep. And I want to give you, please seek out some Biden, Obama, and Hillary news where they hate Iran. They want to, eliminate nuclear threats and threats to America. It's out there on the internet like crazy, and people need to know more about that. I need some Reese on the radio swag. And,
okay.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, give me some RR t-shirts.
We're working on the swag. In fact, I just got templates out to the person who's going to make the shirts for me. Right now, it's about funding, so it's going to cost me some scratch, and I'm working on it right now. Well, we should have them by the summer.
Yeah, dude, I got you to back it up proudly because I want to represent for you for the people that don't know about you. So
much appreciated. That I appreciate,
that's
sir.
What I'm looking for because you're a good guy and you're honest, you're kind-hearted. The best part about you, bro, you're sincere, and that's what counts in these discussions you have every day.
Thank you.
And lastly, I want to say, why is Connecticut preying on people's emotions instead of cause and corrective action? They really believe that the general public is gullible and ignorant, and they shoot for emotions rather than cause and corrective actions that can actually help them out.
Isn't it great?
But they know the general public is ignorant, and that's all they care about is the votes, bro. They don't care about our safety and well-being, bro.
I'm going to let you go, but you're 100% even. Andrew Rice, who is a leftist, was on the program yesterday, and he said that exact same thing. So, look, I don't think you're off the mark at all. Thank you, man.
Yeah, I might have missed it. Yep.
That's okay.
He's just Lamont's a straight-up hypocrite liar, man.
Exactly. Thank you, buddy. Stand by. We're going to get to some more phone calls. Thank you, buddy. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back. More news, more views. We got DM Livingston coming up at 4 o'clock. Stand by for that. Folks, I'm going to try to get the last couple of phone calls in here with Eric and Everett and Morgan. Stand by for that. We'll return shortly. It's Reese on the radio.
It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
They are, federal officials, but that's our strong set of recommendations for these. Take off the mask. What are you embarrassed about?
Sorry, that was Ned Lamont. I forgot to cut off that clip. Let me get to Everett real quick. How we doing, sir? Everett?
Hello.
Hey, how are you doing, sir?
Good. I was, you were talking about our wonderful governor and his mask charade.
Yes.
And it made me think, I believe back in the early 80s, didn't some states make it against the law for people to protest with masks on?
That's correct.
We're looking at the wrong people.
Indeed, he is, because I was at that protest at the ICE facility, and there were plenty of masked people there.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't understand what, like the governor said, take your mask off. What are you afraid of?
Yeah, exactly. Great point. I've got another audio of him. You want to laugh? This one's my favorite one. This was yesterday. I think he said this. That's not that one. What is this audio that I just had? I know I posted it. Here it is. This is him talking about hate crimes. Listen to this.
I just need people, if you see something, to say something. I go to every school. I go wherever I can. I mean, the types of things you see being said online and often to people's faces, the likes of things we wouldn't have dreamed of.
And I'm going, you were born in 1954. Do you know what people used to say in the late 60s to blacks and Latinos that was in public? What do you mean the likes of what we haven't seen before? No one's saying the stuff they said in the 60s.
Yeah, that's the other thing that bothers me about this war on the language is a hate crime.
Yeah.
Which crime is not some type of hate?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
You're committing a crime. You're bringing cruel to somebody else.
Yeah, exactly. Usually, hate is the impetus. You know what I mean? It's like, did you just commit a hate crime on him? No, I sincerely loved him when I punched him in the jaw.
Again, and then there's the crimes of passion. Well, you walk in and your significant others.
Oh yeah.
And that happens.
Yeah.
But I mean, come on.
Yeah.
These people should not be. First of all, they're not protesters. Protesters march around with signs and they say their little chants. They don't get in the way. I mean, last year I had a strike, Pratt and Whitney, right across the street from where I live. Those people, they protested. They walked up and down the sidewalk, waved to people. They had their signs. They never blocked traffic. They never yelled or swore at anybody that was going by. That was a protest.
Yeah, it's a different era now, Everett.
No, I'm literally. This is just last year.
Oh no! I'm saying that. No, I'm just saying that today, in the scope of protesting, it's not as simple as just walking by holding signs. Now, all protests must be met with violence, or must be at least performed.
Then our police and our governors and everybody in our town and state is betraying us, because that's unacceptable. You have the right to protest. You don't have the right to be violent.
Well, I'll tell you this.
You don't have the right to stop me from going back and forth to work.
I'll go this far, and I'll let you go on this one. I think a perfect example of how we turned into this permissible society, a permitted society of protesting, was it is a violation of federal law for protesters to stand outside of a jurist's home and protest. And remember that before the Dodge decision, there were people outside of Supreme Court justices' homes. They were a violation of federal law, and not one person was sent to jail because of it. And that's the era we live in, where even when people break the law, they don't adjudicate it. So
we got to empty the swamp, get rid of those people.
Indeed, my friend. Thank you so much, man. I'll talk to you soon. We got to take a break. Traffic and weather coming up as well. And our guest is here, DM Livingston of the Waterbury Times. I want you to get to know him, so I'm going to get to know him, and so that we can all get to know him together. We'll find out what he does, how long he's been doing it. And someone said in the chat room, DM the guy who went after Mike Ortiz for using his photos and stuff? I heard that's been remedied. I heard that's been fixed, Michael B. That's been fixed. Okay, stop bringing up old stuff. Let's get our first check of traffic and weather. Mark Christopher's here. He's at the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark. All right, we're back. Reese on the radio. Second half underway. We've got DM Livingston from the Waterbury Times. We'll talk to him. We're behind the scenes, sort of telling war stories, if you will, about the news media, and he has got so much to say that it's funny when you meet people for the first time and you know exactly why they are relevant in this subject, and he does not disappoint. We'll talk about all of that when we return. Stand by for that. Lori has a great idea for T-shirts. She says, a T-shirt that reads, "Ask me about Reese." Not bad. I actually kind of like that one. If Carmelo Anthony was a tight end in high school, he's got, oh, goodness gracious, I'm not reading the rest. Shut up. White Mike, we are done with you today. No, you cannot be part of today's conversation. I'm not reading it. I'm just not reading it. Absolutely disappointed in you. So disappointed in you. And as I said, Michael B., Mike Ortiz and DM Livingston are fine, okay? They are okay. They worked out their differences. It is absolutely fine. Tell the truth. Is it okay? DM, are you guys good? Yeah, okay. We got to get your microphone over there. All right, he's fine. All right, so they're fine. They're okay. They're working together. Everybody's good. I'm not going to lie. When I first saw that story, when I first saw your video on it, and then I had already planned on having Mike here, and I was like, is this going to be uncomfortable? So I was like, but he was good. I'm going to get your microphone on. Don't co-sign my nonsense, okay? I can back my craziness up. I don't want you to have to defend my lunacy, okay? I'm good. I'm going to be fine. Yeah, Lori. Lori, I'm going to have to ask you about that whole story with the former Waterbury mayor. That somebody mentioned it to me here in the studio. I was just like, goodness gracious. Oh, so I didn't want to get into that. Yeah, I know DM knows about that story. Let's get another check of traffic and weather. Let's get out of this gracefully. Mark Christopher's back. He is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
It's Reese on the radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
Hey, we are back. Oh, goodness gracious. That's not what I was doing. That's what I was doing. Sorry. There he is. Let me do this right. I'm doing everything here wrong. There we go. On inside the show, or inside the studio here with us, is DM Livingston of the Waterbury Times, who has graced us with his presence. We are very appreciative to have you here, sir. And again, I think you and I are going to talk a lot, because you got so much stuff to tell me that I'm interested in that you're doing. The Waterbury Times, the best way to describe it is that you are a news organization covering the Waterbury area.
Yes, that's about the easiest, most basic way I've ever heard anyone explain it.
Right.
Yes.
And you are covering everything from news to pop culture to politics in some cases, sports.
We covered the whole NVL season. We did the Roberto Clemente Little League. Mm-hmm. Pretty much if it's happening in Waterbury, we try to be there on the scene. Really nothing off limits. Although, little caveat, fires. And that's just a personal thing.
Yeah.
I don't think fires are, unless it's arson, I don't want to capture someone just lost everything. So we shy away from fires, but pretty much everything else we're showing up on.
Yeah, fires, it's funny. I've always, the news media, the mainstream news media really covers fires. That's like as a big event.
Because blaze, flames.
Right,
ooh,
exactly.
But,
and of course, it's always about the loss of human life, if not the loss of someone's home.
Right, property loss.
Right, property loss. So that's, in essence, the essence of that is really big. Also, I think it's sort of, in a weird way, without doing it, fires become cautionary tales. Because when we find out what the cause of it was, you know what I mean? It's sort of like that's supposed to, the fire started because of a gas leak, or the fire started because someone fell asleep with a cigarette. Those things, sort of the reason why I learned in the beginning, I was like, wow, they cover fires a lot more intently than other news stories. But I learned over years there's a reason for that. But yes, it's a sensitive thing because you really don't want to be platforming somebody's loss of
and especially to your point, especially if I know because of everything I'm covering, I'm not going to be able to be as committed to find out the cause and turn it into a whole public benefit thing. So it's like I don't want to just grab the headline for the click if I can't follow through. So we kind of have a beginning, middle, end. So if we see a scene, if there's not a beginning, middle, and then a wrap up, we'll kind of just let it pass. Not that we're ignoring it, but.
So you do believe in the journalism of finding out why, right?
Oh,
so,
yes.
So it's sort of like, here's what happened, here's where, what, who, what, when, where. And then if we do find out there's a why, you do a follow up as to here's why that story happened that we talked about a month ago.
Right, 100%. So even though it might seem disconnected, we try to organize it and operate it as one unit. So we may start on the Facebook in the morning with a story. Mm-hmm. Kind of that's the 24-hour CNN, so to speak. Something's happening. Mm-hmm. We're going to bring it there. That's where all the energy is. That's where we're going to yell at public officials and out-of-state developers, right? This is what's happening. And then in the meantime, while everyone's talking about, we're going to go find out why. Now that's when we're going to navigate you over to the website because not everyone cares why. Some people just want to see me yelling at someone.
Yeah.
But some people are like, no. What's really going on? For those people, come over to the website, theWaterburyTimes.com. And now that's when we have continuing coverage. We have over 1,000 published articles going back 3 years.
Wow.
Search bar. You could search pretty much anything that happened in the last 3 years in Waterbury. We have a story on it.
So you use a lot. You always use this whenever you talk about the Waterbury Times. You use the word we. I use the word we all the time. It's like, well, we'll be back here on Tuesday. And I consider myself enrolling we, but it's really just me. But when I say we, I talk about it in everything that we do. Do you have a staff, or are you, DM Livingston, the core and the essence of the Waterbury Times?
Well, back to the we. So when I say we, and I'm glad you asked that because I'm not sure I've explained this in it's a little while. So when I say we, it's the Waterbury Times.
Got it.
It's not me. It's
Got
we.
it.
We're yelling at you, Mr. Mayor.
That's
We're
right.
asking these questions. So it's not just me. So when I walk, people are like, wow, you should be careful when you walk. I got a whole city behind me. What are we talking about? So that's when I say we. Now, as far as the day-to-day operation, even that is a teamwork effort. You don't know how many messages I get or how many tips I get or people, just the motivation of someone blowing the horn. So I would never say that it's a me thing.
So, and I totally get the essence of we. That's what I tell people here on this program, that this is a collective, right?
100%.
It's like I come here to do a job on the radio, but it's meaningless if you are not attending this show. Right? So if this is an appointment radio for you, I can't get my job done. Otherwise, I'm just, shouting at the wind.
Right. Or talking to yourself. That's why, it's just like you're either talking to yourself or you're arguing with people that some people are just looking to argue.
Yeah.
They're just looking for someone that's going to give them the time to argue back.
So you said 3 years now you've been doing the Waterbury Times.
Yes.
And by the way, your name rings bells. I want you to know that. People talk.
I'm hearing that. I'm starting to hear that.
And it's great that, again, if you don't know that yourself and people are telling you that, that means that you're paying attention to the work and not the accolades. That's always a good thing.
Okay.
Because, I believe that people should need to pay attention to the work. The accolades will come. Right? The reverence and people saying that they love your work, that's going to come. But never let that make you lose your focus, because the reason why you're getting those praises is because of the work.
Right, exactly.
So you have to keep doing that. You've been doing this for 3 years now.
Right, exactly.
I need to know the origin story. What caused this?
So the origin story, it's kind of like a 3-part origin story. It starts like 3 paths, but the original origin story actually doesn't even start with news or anything about the news. I just wanted to start a podcast and talk about sports.
Oh.
So I started a sports podcast, Livingston Sport and News. Actually, those videos are still up. So if you want to see,
your humble beginnings,
my humble beginnings of being shy on the mic and not really knowing how to talk, that's all Livingston Sport and News. That's when I was strictly talking to myself. I had 2 views, probably my mom and my best friends watching it.
Yeah.
But every day talking, that's the origination of the welcome that comes from Livingston Sporting News. But then I said, I want to take this serious, like, this is the business. I found out that the Athletic, you are familiar with the Athletic?
No. Oh, you mean the
Athletic.com.
Yeah.
When the New York Times bought them, they let go of their writers, staffs, and bought this website. That's all the Athletic is, a website for over, like, it was like $500-something million. Oh, I'm building a website. I'm building a sports website, and I'm going to go to Mets games on beautiful summer afternoons and write about sports. So as I was doing that, I started the LLC Livingston Media Company. Then with the free time I had, I said, well, let me do this content. So I started making content. So now I have sports. Now I have entertainment. So now I'm like, oh, well, I might as well just do news. That's everything. That's the whole media universe.
Yeah.
Sports, news, and entertainment. I didn't think anyone would care. The narrative in Waterbury, nobody cares. So I started a Facebook page. I called it the Waterbury Times. Put a little logo, put it up there, and that was it. Went about my Livingston Sporting News life. Side story to the side story, some political aspirations I was looking into.
Right.
And then when I sent it to our former Republican American newspaper that I'm not particularly fond of, when they didn't respond back to, in my brain, a minority individual that was trying to run for office and they didn't take it as a story, that's when I said, let me look back at this news thing a little bit closer. And then when I went back to the Facebook page, I had like 400 followers. I didn't even post anything yet.
Wow.
Just seeing the Waterbury Times, people were like,
piqued an interest.
What's that?
Yeah.
So literally from that day, we just started figuring out, posting things, following things.
You took a rejection of a story and said, why wait for them to print my news? Let me be the news.
Yes, I'll tweak it a little bit. I said, if they're not talking about me, and I said I wanted to run for a state office, they're not talking about her birthday party that he won an award. They're not posting first honor rolls anymore. If they're not talking about that, anything below that, they're not calling them back. So let me be the news for the people that I already know they're ignoring. I already know they're ignoring them. I don't even have to ask. You ignored me. I know you're ignoring everyone else.
And all you did was just find that. Again, you used their rejection or their ignoring of those stories and said, here's my opportunity.
Exactly.
That's my lane.
Exactly.
And then that grows.
Exponentially in ways you would never imagine, because the thing is, I have a new joke that the new drug is good news. Like, people used to want to spread negativity and spread, but I'm telling you, I have the analytics. My post where I post simple, good morning, go get it. 200 likes, 100 likes. Yeah, I get good views when it's negative news, but it's not what you would assume. Like, you're negative content. You're on Waterbury. Oh, that's just all clickbait stuff. No, you'd be surprised. Our Chase Ave story about why people keep dying on Chase Ave, like 45,000 views. The comments through the roof. So I need people in Connecticut to understand. People in Waterbury, we care. We just care a little louder than most other areas care. Like, but it's still our care because we have bigger problems, so we have to address them in a bigger way.
You talked about that a little bit behind the scenes when you got here. Is that, you know, you've recognized the lack of attention that's given to a town like Waterbury. And it's impossible when you have so many counties and so few mainstream news outlets, and the way in which they sort of critique what is news or what is worthy of the news, that so many stories or good stories get on, fall on the cutting room floor. And you said something, and I'm going to let you tell the stories, that you had talked to some people in the news media talking about why you shouldn't get into the mainstream news media thing, because even they envied what you could do that they could not. Tell that story if you could.
So, obviously showing up on scenes when it's, just Waterbury things that happen super fast. Sometimes I show up, no one else is there. But when it's a mall shooting, the tragic accident when the 4 kids crashed into the store, when the whole news shows up, I live here, so I'm already here. So as I mingled and I started to meet some of the news anchors, at first, some of them were standoffish, like, who's this guy? But after a while, it's like, hey, we're starting to see your stuff. We really appreciate what you're doing. And then they give me the insight. They can't just talk about what they want to talk about. Like,
right.
They have
the stories that they think are important.
They think are important. So if you figure, for example, say you have a team of 5 reporters on a Monday morning, they all show up with 20 stories, but you only have, X amount of time. That's when it almost becomes a business.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not even the business of, well, let's tell the most impactful story. No, what is going to drive the most eyes?
Mm-hmm.
And what I think is there'll be correction. I think they're overcorrecting because these legacy medias were so late to the social media party that they're trying to race it and rush it.
Yeah.
But they're using an old tactic because
Yeah.
we're almost out of that. We're almost out of that social media. We're in AI is going to bring it to you.
Yeah, exactly.
They're either going to rock with you or not. No matter what crazy headline you put,
yeah,
AI is going to bring you what you want.
Right. The story's going to be brought to you no matter what. It's going to be out of the hands of the news media.
Exactly. So it's just going to be part. Let me give you a scary example that I think is scary because I actually just witnessed it. And feel free at home, test this. If you Google a regular news, but click AI mode, that breakdown it'll show you the sources. So if you go Google Waterbury breaking news, first of all, Waterbury Times will be like number 2. Then go to AI mode, and it'll give you a summary of everything that's happened. But if you look in the upper left-hand corner, it'll show you all the news sites that they sourced that summary from. So they are already taking my content and merging it with other people's content so AI can answer questions.
Wow.
That's the future. So the only thing, the news, and this is free advice for news legacy that's listening, just be relevant.
Yeah.
You don't have to be flashy. Be relevant because when the person, no one's saying fast food near me. No, they're saying I want to eat today. Where should I go? And AI is going to go look who's relevant.
Yeah.
And they're going to say, well, the Waterbury Times said go eat at Dominic Apia.
Right.
Right. So that's the future of it. That's like marketing behind the scenes side. And I feel like we try our best to keep it the news. Whether you love it, like it, whether people are going to be mad at me tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's the news. Sorry, I got to say this. Sorry.
Yeah. I got to do what I got to do.
Right.
That's the beauty of what you do and sometimes what I do. Now, look, I'll admit, I'm under the corporate umbrella. Sometimes I've got to walk right towards that line, and sometimes I will frustrate my bosses. But I tell them, look, I'm not cutting edge for the sake of being cutting edge. I got to do the thing that's not being done in legacy media. I got to do the stuff that the guys aren't doing on other programs. One, because it's about getting the trust of the audience, and they will no longer trust me if they think that I'm holding back. They can't trust me if I'm not giving them the true and honest sort of breakdown of what's happening around them. If I'm not on the ground on the story, right? I got to be out there as you are, because you're doing the thing that the rest of the, we don't have enough reporters to be here, there, and everywhere. And I'm like, that's the reason why you're losing an audience, because they feel like they're being ignored. You in Waterbury, and I want to talk about this when we come back from the break. You said that what you're trying to do, what's very important to you, and some people might even call it spin. But what you're trying to do is to put Waterbury on the map in a way that the legacy news media has failed it.
Actually, I would go a step farther.
Okay.
Reverse the place they put us on.
Wow.
Reverse where they put us on.
And the only way you're going to do that is to make sure that you're doing Waterbury Times as you're doing it, that you are not shining a light on just the negative, that the people of the city of Waterbury know that, there are good neighbors here. There are good things happening here. The Little League team or the Spirit Squad, whatever it is that's going on.
The Waterbury Knights championship last summer. I mean, we have so many good, positive stories that I feel that if we just had more of that into the mix, we would average out a little bit better in the opinion of people.
Well, I do have time to say that you said that you were out. Where were you, in Rhode Island?
Oh, yes. Pawtucket. Shout out to the Cabo Verde national team. We were at the gala send-off out in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Yes.
And you said when you mentioned the word Waterbury, you got this sort of,
you're from Waterbury. Because obviously the Waterbury Times, I have to mention it every time. So the guy at the gate, we're looking for T1 parking. I guess that's fancy parking. It's like, you're in T1 parking? I'm like, yeah, the Waterbury Times. Waterbury, yeah, we're T1 parking, guys.
And that's the thing. When you hear that, you say to yourself, that's, kind of a motivation.
Right.
You want to take that sort of, little ilk, if you will, off of Waterbury.
Because if I would have said the Greenwich Times, he probably would have been like, oh, how is it out in Greenwich? Lovely.
Indeed. Indeed. Good point. All right. We're here with DM Livingston of the Waterbury Times. Check him out, thewaterburytimes.com. Don't forget that. Thewaterburytimes.com. Because as DM says, we want to make it legitimate. No, because I love it. Because it's like,
hey, listen, the Walt Disney Company.
That's right. Hey, I'll put it. My ex-wife used to say it best: "Start as you mean to go on."
I love that.
Yeah, without a doubt. We'll take a break. More with DM Livingston from the Waterbury Times when we return. Mark Christopher's got some traffic for you. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Stay locked in. Reese on the radio is on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Wow. Oh man, we are live with we're live with DM Livingston. You are like a wealth of knowledge and information in this game, and I'm absolutely stunned by some of the stuff that you've been able to experience in your life as a reporter. Would you refer to yourself? Would you call yourself a journalist, a reporter? What would you call yourself?
Well, I mean, I guess if we were labeling stuff, I guess citizen journalist is what someone said. But I mean, as a journalist, I mean, I think people. I don't feel like I may look young. I'm 44. I'll be 45. So I remember the 80s, 5 o'clock. Like, the news used to come from one person. Walter Cronkite, wasn't it Peter Jennings? Like, you used to get the news from a guy. Yeah. And he would go places. And then you would wait until you got it. You knew the guy's name. Like, we kind of moved and merged into this era of 4 or 5 people at the desk talking about one topic, but we used to get it from, the most trusted man in America. But it's like, I feel like when those people, not specifically people I name, but, when you put all your eggs in one basket and then the basket cracks, then it's like, I think they like to have more legs to stand on.
I think what's interesting is today, what I've noticed, there are so many people who will watch a story happen in their own backyard, be displayed on the news, and they know that there was something that was left out, rearranged, or just flat out lied about. And they know it isn't true. And they kind of feel like we don't have any recourse here. They've told the news, and this is what they know. And because it's the news, it's legitimate, right? Yeah. And when you're standing there and you're kind of helpless, or if something happens in your community and no one's talking about it, nothing is worse than feeling ignored in those spaces. So now it's like there are people who have seen this growing up and knowing there's an opportunity now where, guess what? You mean to tell me we can tell our own stories and we can actually monetize ourselves in order to do it? We can actually make careers out of this. And people are. And again, Mike Ortiz, Eddie Torres, Johnny Cruz, yourself. Again, I've seen this in other places, but I'm just glad it's happening here. The reason why I'm glad it's happening here is because you guys get to do stuff that I know I can't rely on the other news media to do. Right.
You guys, they're not going to show up in the certain areas. Like, I see where Johnny is at in Hartford and the other guys in places. Is just, I look at them for, like, those are my news.
Yeah.
The only time I'll look at the news if something catches my eye that's like, wait, what is that?
Yeah, exactly. It may be an international story that we can't cover. Let's take another break. We got traffic and weather coming up. Mark Christopher's here. He is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. More with DM Livingston when we return. Hey, Mark.
It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
We're back. DM Livingston of the Waterbury Times is here, our guest. I think we're going to have to do something where we can actually have something live behind the scenes. DM is like really, there's so much stuff that he can talk about. You and I we got to hang out. Can we hang out?
I was just going to say that. I knew that coming in. I made a joke on our TikTok live. I was like, I'm not sure if Reese, because I watched a bunch of your shows preparing. I was like, I don't know how much Reese has seen me, but we could 24 hours straight. I seen your energy, my energy. I was like, we could talk all day.
Yeah, exactly. One, because I'm so interested in what you do. I tell the guys, I am not shy, because you even said that there were some news guys who kind of whisper to you and say, damn, I wish I could do what you do.
Right.
I am not shy. I'll say it. I wish I could do the things that you guys do. I told my wife the other day, you think you don't see me now. If I was doing the Waterbury Times, if I had a Waterbury Times, like right now we're doing this new venture called The Rundown, which in essence is going to be much like the Waterbury Times, just a newspaper. But for us, we're covering the news. Like, our job is to cover the news in the sense of where are they lying to, what are they omitting.
There it is.
So we're holding them to account. But I told my wife, I said, if it ever came to the point where I had to be on the grind like you are, dude, I would put the backpack on, be like Ghostbusters and report in the street live.
Yeah. Listen, you can get addicted to it. Because it's so much happening. And then when you get the feedback, when people are literally like, I did not know that. Thank you. It's almost like, well, what else don't you know? What else can I find for you that you need to know that you don't know?
But that's the public service of this.
Right.
And you mentioned that the Waterbury Times sort of works as that, as a public service. Right. That you are telling the people of Waterbury what's going on, and they can rely on you, because you can sit around and watch the news and see if anybody's reporting on that accident or that issue that's there. And, they get around to it, and it's maybe a minute and a half or 30 seconds and you, on the other hand, are saying you will dedicate an in-depth amount of time, a considerable amount of time, into getting the details, not because you want to, because you can.
Right.
And you understand the relevance. It's like, what your audience, I always tell them, the reason why I do radio, and I don't say that, I know it's going to sound like I'm bragging, but I think the reason why people like this show is because I do it as if I were a listener. Because I'm a listener first. I love radio. I love it so much that when I do it, I say to myself, what would my audience, or what would me as an audience member like to, or would enjoy? That's why doing interviews like this on the people who are doing this in ways that are complete. I could have a news reporter on here all day and I'd fall asleep on him.
Right.
What you're doing is absolutely much more exhilarating, and more importantly, on the ground level, on the ground floor, getting these people the information they care most about.
Right. There it is. And that's one of our taglines. Like, we float with taglines all the time. We switch them, see if people notice. But
I like that too. Me too.
Matters that matters has been sticking. And you said it, so that might be
matters that matter.
Matters that matters. The Waterbury Time matters that matters, because everything matters, but certain things just matter a little bit more. So
right.
So it's never a matter of me not covering something. It's just, I want people to understand that we come into a lot of spaces with predetermined what's supposed to matters.
Right.
I want people to come in with a clean slate and start, wait a minute, does that really matter what they're trying to tell me right now? And let's switch what matters, because I'll get comments sometimes like, that's not news. And it's like, but why isn't it? Why can't it be?
Yeah.
Right? Why isn't
there
it
are these
news?
people who will dismiss it because, again, it doesn't it doesn't meet the point. I remember talking yesterday. One of our listeners was sort of dismissing the guest that I had on yesterday, Andrew Rice. Sorry, okay. And Andrew Rice is a leftist. He admits that he's a leftist. A lot of my audience is conservative, and like, why would I want to have a conversation with him? I was like, because I find people with different opinions exciting. Like, those people, like, why wouldn't I? Totally, and great for me. I don't know if the listener liked it, but at the end of the conversation, I'll be honest, I had a great time because I learned so much about him and his points of view. I found out that there are people that he hangs out with who also have these points of view, and I thought that they were interesting and compelling. At the end of the day, I kind of felt like everyone gained from it.
Yeah, it's just like a growth when you
exactly
go together.
And that's the beauty of what you do, is that you're not really like sort of compelled by whether or not you get that critic who says this story doesn't matter. You know that there's an audience out there that does care about that story.
And the thing about it is, at times, in the defense of certain people who don't see me all the time, when you just scroll by, I get it. Say you see me when I'm talking about something that might not be like breaking news and I'm in a dress down kind of way. I can see how that's not resonating with you when I'm then telling you about the Board of Aldermen and why do we have 10,000 gallons of sludge in the ground. I know it might seem like, what is he doing talking about that now? I have a built-in audience, again, 3 years now, so I know my audience. My audience loves when I raise my voice, except for my mom. Sorry, Mom. I won't yell anymore at public officials, I promise. But for those that are like, that's too much or you should turn it down, I respectfully say this. I wasn't talking to you then. This message wasn't for you.
Right.
Maybe you can receive it in a different way, but I have people that are not going to pay attention unless it's at a certain level or in a certain way.
You said that, again, you've done this for about 3 years. You have seen your views or your viewership exceed that of 10 million.
Yes. When you add up all of the views from the Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, the Instagram, the website, Yeah, we're tracked 10 million the last 365 days.
And this is one network on all of these platforms.
Right.
And we're seeing that number within a year of views.
Yeah, but the most important part, and what I want to tell everyone who heard that number, and as impressive as that number is to me, that's the number for other people to feel good about the Waterbury Times. Oh, 10 million, they must be good. It's the 285,000 engagement, the 250,000 engagement. That means 250,000 people saw something and then their body physically had to move. They touched the like, they made a comment. The story physically moved them to engage with it. That's the number that I'm most
Waterbury
proud
doesn't even have a population of 250,000.
Right. So that back to the built-in audience, I know my core people that wake up. So when I say good morning, Waterbury, there are people that have heard me or been on the Waterbury Times every single day since they found it.
Yeah.
And there are people that are just now finding out right now, like, you have a TikTok? I didn't know that. You have a YouTube? Like, I tell them, just Google it. Everywhere we are is going to pop up.
That's the importance of what you're doing. And that's why I wanted to platform you guys. And it's, again, as much as people may think that, and those who are in the mainstream news media who feel like it is a slight on you, hey, if it apply, or if it don't apply, let it fly. If it does, then you know what? You got to work your game up.
Right.
I really believe that there are people who are missing out on doing what you guys are doing, not so much as trying to incorporate. And I don't know if you were listening to my monologue a few weeks ago. We had gotten a story, or at least I got some info from Adam 12, who was my booking agent, who told me that there was someone who was being contacted by one of the major networks here in Connecticut. And I said, make sure that person is listening when I do my opening monologue. And I made it clear one thing, and you said it as we were talking about the mainstream news media and talking to some of the people who are in mainstream news media. There's going to be a time when DM Livingston has a story that must be told. And if you are a part of that major news network, someone's going to tell you, we're not putting that on the air. And you know it's important because that's who you are. They'll tell you something like, oh, you're just some street journalist. What do you know? But you know your audience, and you know it better than them. Right. And they brought you in because you know the audience. But is that one moment where you do the story that you know you have to do, or you feel in your heart has to be done? But because you signed your name on the dotted line, that story never sees the light of day. And if you so much as report it on your own, they'll can you.
Yeah.
Right? They'll destroy you. And remember, they always make sure that you sign a contract that says your image and likeness are no longer yours.
Oh, yeah. And yeah, that's serious.
And exactly. Yeah. So you have got to say to yourself, it's like, I got to worry about, do I do the grind? You know what I mean? So I make, the short money that eventually becomes long money.
Right.
Or do I sign on the dotted line to get that long money now, but at what cost? And that's what I was trying to tell them. You got to own what you own.
Right. Right, and it's always a cost to everything that's more than what is in that agreement.
That's
There's always a behind-the-scene cost. The one thing I would say if you don't mind, I'm trying to find a way to say it. I guess
selling it?
Yeah, I guess if you don't mind rules, or if you don't have a creative way to get around those. Like, I'm sure I wouldn't like being encased in an environment like that, but that story's getting out. Getting out. It's going to get out. But now do I want to take the time to have to be doing all this behind the scenes stuff?
Yeah. I don't want to work in that secretive sort of looking over my shoulder. I don't want to be
a spy. This is espionage. I'm just reporting the news.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
I always equate this, and it's true that right now we are on that wild frontier.
Right.
I remember a story. You'll appreciate this story. You remember back in the days, there was this huge story when Kanye West was getting really, really big on the production level. There was this one story where this guy was suing him because Kanye had made like big money off of this guy's beat, right? So the guy had produced this record that Kanye ended up using on a song. And then people were saying that, Kanye, bought a song from somebody and he only, bought it for $50,000 and the record went multi-platinum. And I said, you guys clearly don't understand this record business. When people would sort of go after big names who took songs or I want to say like renditions from other people who were just trying to make a buck, There was a guy out there writing a hit record who just wanted to feed his family.
Yeah.
And he sold it for pennies, and the song went out to be great things. And you could turn around and say, hey, he got robbed. No, he didn't. That guy said he sold it for short money because he needed it now. He signed all of the rights away because he just needed the money now. He didn't see the potential in it.
Coca-Cola.
Boom. So it's like people don't understand that. In this game, you got to say to yourself, do I want that short money? Can I sustain myself with this short money until I eventually become the big deal that I am? Or do I sell short now?
Yeah. What I'll say is, and this is the part that people will have a hard time accepting, news and money do not mix.
Nope.
You have to pick one. You have to be totally content. Like the Waterbury Times, and I make jokes. People that know, they know. I make jokes about our elected officials and where they live and live in nice areas. Earlier made reference to Erin Stewart and trying to keep up with the Joneses type of.
Right.
My Joneses live in the hood. We live we live where it's not the greatest. So I don't want anyone to have any aspersions that, there's like big money rolling in. I live in one of the worst areas. We're trying to get better. Neighborhood Association President, Willow, Hillside Grove Alliance. We're going to work on a little garden over there.
Yeah.
We have an adopted spot in that area.
Oh, no doubt.
So it's like the news, when the news becomes important, you realize that the money, you realize the things you need are there. That's the best way I can say it. The things you need are there. Then you realize, kind of like what I was saying about not, like, what is news? Like, well, what is need? Like, what do you need to have? So, like, we can get philosophical on it, but the main thing is, if you're going in money, then you might as well be prepared to bury a story. Just go get your check. We won't judge you. Everyone else is doing it, but don't talk down on people like me.
Yeah,
that's the trade-off. Go get your bag, leave me alone, or come work with me, and I'll show you how we walk around all day.
Yeah, and again, that's the part that's sort of been lost in a lot of this market is the loss of integrity in what you do, right? Is that the fact that the people love you and respect you and know that you are doing this work as a public service for them, you will always be taken care of. I tell you, man, my wife and I were walking somewhere just recently, and they refused to let me pay the check.
Yeah.
And that bothered me because I'm just like, no. It was like, no, dude, you know what? You do too much for us. This is how. So when you do the work, people will take care of you.
And it's the little things. I can't remember, where was I? Because I want to shout them out. It was a grocery store. Didn't even speak English, but I knew enough that he knew me from something. And the little gestures, he waved the little 10-cent bag charges. He was like,
yeah, exactly.
You're not paying for these plastic bags.
Like people will treat you as sort of like you do a good deed. And like I say it all the time. I'm always embarrassed when they do. Like I was like, please, don't do that. I'm just like, no, man, listen, what you do for us, it has so much value and we appreciate what you do. And when I see those people run up to me, man, and shake my hand or they run and hug my wife, it's like, I listen to you all the time. And, that to me, it goes a long way. We walk away knowing, we make a little bit of bread, but at the end of the day, we got so much more out of it. We got respect and love from the community. Yeah. And that fills my belly just as much as my heart. You know what I mean?
To me, at first it's a weird feeling to be somewhere where you, like, I'm not on live, I'm not doing anything, I'm going to get a donut, and then someone's like, oh, hey, you're you. Like, it was weird at first, but now I appreciate it because I don't know what story it is. Maybe something really resonated. Like our last story we did, the American Job Center, where we were talking about all the training you can get. I mean, there were people that were like, oh, I didn't know that. And there were people just like, oh, yeah, I got training from there too. So it's like someone might have a job now. So it's like I never know why that person's happy that they see me. So I just try to keep doing what I do.
For me, that's the motivation to keep doing more of it.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the most important part. DM Livingston, the Waterbury Times. Go to the waterburytimes.com. Support this man and what he is doing, whether you live in Waterbury or not, because apparently the people who are checking him out don't live there. So show him some love. You're going to be back because I know as stories are happening in Waterbury, you get there first. So we're going to bring you in if you don't mind.
Oh, 100%.
So to talk about the behind the scenes stuff that we may not know.
Right, 100%.
Thank you. DM Livingston, make sure you check out the Waterbury Times. Check out the Facebook page and all that other stuff is on the website.
It's the Facebook Waterbury Times, the TikTok Waterbury Times, the YouTube. The Instagram is specifically for the NVL high school boys basketball.
Okay.
And we covered them extensively. Go will be. So that's going to be real special this year. And listen, I mean, there's so much. Just head to the website.
You got it. The WaterburyTimes.com. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you being here. Thank you. Let's get to another check of weather and traffic. Mark Christopher's here. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, we're back. You know what time it is. News. That's right. Any kind of music news I like. Celebrating a birthday today, Matthew Bellamy of the group Muse turns 48 years old. Wes Scantlin of Puddle of Mud turns 54. Ed Simmons of the Chemical Brothers turns 56. Yeah, this has got a weird theme going on. These guys are all around my age. Dean Dinning of Toad the Wet Sprocket turns 59. And the elder statesman of this is Mick Box of Uriah Heep, who turns 79 years old. On this day in music, in 1972, Elvis Presley made rock history by selling out 4 consecutive nights at New York's Madison Square Garden, his first shows in the city in over a decade. The star-studded crowd included the likes of John Lennon, George Harrison, Bob Dylan, David Bowie, and more. Talk about it, performing in front of rock legends. That's insane. And still, the greatest man in the building was Elvis. In 1978, the Rolling Stones released Some Girls, their first album with Ronnie Wood as a full member. It became a massive commercial and critical success, hitting number 1, delivering hits like Miss You and Beast of Burden, one of my favorite songs, and marking the strong creative rebound that blended rock, disco, and punk influences. In 1960, Roy Orbison released his breakthrough single, Only the Lonely, which climbed to number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. And none other than this horrible moment in music history. In 1990, MC Hammer's Please Hammer, Don't Hurt 'Em, it was an album, continued its record-breaking run at number 1 on the Billboard 200, fueled by the song You Can't Touch This, mainstream, which bringing mainstream attention to hip-hop. It is not hip-hop. It is pop. It is straight garbaggio. And that's where this list is going. MC Hammer. Mark Christopher's back. He is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center.
From politics to news to music to movies and anything above the sun and outer space and beyond, it's Reese on the radio. Damn, he's good. Only on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
So, yeah, during our interview with DM Livingston, we got the news here. And thank you, Lori, and everyone else in the chat room for letting me know. Carmelo Anthony has been found guilty in the murder of Austin Metcalf, which we all expected was going to happen. Anyone who saw it otherwise is out of sorts, but it's over. And, for those of you who do not know this, let me break this down for you. Whatever happens online, or the legions of people who are outside after this court hearing, after this conviction, yeah, there's a lot of people who are upset, misguided even, but don't worry about it. Chillax. They're not going to care in 15, 20 minutes. They won't. This is fickle. It always is. You could say whatever you want. You could stand on this principle that you cannot, look at the evidence in this case and say, here's the breakdown. And as much as people want to talk about this in so many other levels, even the defense witness that was there in the defense of Carmelo Anthony said, and I quote, I think Carmelo was in the wrong. Completely shocking the prosecutor and the defense. Completely threw them for a loop. That Carmelo Anthony's own defense witness said, I think Carmelo was in the wrong. Okay? Also, the prosecuting witnesses. members of the prosecuting witnesses were black and were standing up for Austin Metcalf. So when we think that it's all about monolith or it's all about skin color, even black kids did not feel compelled to stand up for the guy who stabbed their friend. So as much as people are trying to say, if you would have put your hands on me, yes, right, sure. Yeah, we know. You would stab a person and kill them. Right. That's right. You jeopardize everything that you have. Right. That's what you want us to believe. And the reporters who are outside are too afraid to even ask that. Too afraid. So let me get this right. So if somebody puts their hands on you, you would jeopardize your entire livelihood and murder said person? Is that what you're telling me? And you should be challenged on that. But they won't be. Of course not. That's why I don't take these folks seriously. And you can, post it, repost it all the time. Look, at you believe these animals, blah, 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 blah. I look at them just like, oh, whatever. I don't know what you're upset about. I know who these people are. If you really want to know what these people are or who these people are, can I take you back a bit? I want to take you back a bit. This one is funny. We're about to be celebrating the 250th anniversary of this very great nation. Very great. And there are some people out there who just don't know how to deal. One of them being my favorite trope, Sunny Houston, Houston. They do a podcast after The View. And I think it's like after the View or after the View table or Harpies on Parade. I don't know. Sunny Houston was on the program talking about our 250th anniversary. And she must have forgotten or thought that we have forgotten her history. But here's her talking about why she has a difficult time celebrating our 250th.
So you want me to celebrate 1776 when my ancestors were not free? I didn't think I was, my family was originally from Spain and slaveholders.
Yeah.
We're not independent. Didn't get independence. I mean, think about that. Think about what a big ask that is. Mm-hmm. It's pretty significant.
She said her ancestors weren't free. Her ancestors were slave owners.
Can you look at the 250 and say there are things to celebrate about the fact that America's got a birthday, that it's here, and there are parts of our history, but it's complicated.
And we've got to be honest about it.
That's the most important thing.
And my concern is there are many people that refuse to be honest about it. I didn't think I was, my family was originally from Spain and slaveholders.
Yeah.
That's why I called.
Negro nonsense. How dare you? Negro nonsense. How dare you? Negro nonsense. How dare you?
How dare you indeed. She didn't stop there, folks.
So celebrate honestly, I guess, is what we should be doing.
Honestly, with everything, truth and reconciliation. But truth is the biggest part of it. Mm-hmm. And what I'm seeing is a lack of truthfulness and an erasure of history, because there are things that I'm sure people aren't proud of, but they won't admit to that. I didn't think I was, my family was originally from Spain and slaveholders.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the best. People need to be honest. I didn't know my people were slave owners. Is she really trying to rewrite history right in our face? Like, we didn't remember that? That was big news, Sonny. That's the biggest news ever. No, I'm sorry. Angela Davis finding out that her forefathers were on the Mayflower. Oh, I love that more than anything. Everybody give yourself a round of applause. By the way, I know people who were pure white here in Connecticut, very close to where the Mayflower showed up on this land, who do not have a family member that was on the Mayflower. But Angela, power to the people, Davis, managed to get somebody out of what, 105 people in her ancestry. And these people, it's embarrassing. You notice she disappeared off the face of the earth once they found out? They're like, Angela Davis, aren't you going to fight for the people? I'm just going to take a sabbatical for a little while. This woman is the best. They are the best. Sunny host in Houston, Houston.
Warning. Bullshitter alert. Bullshitter alert.
That's exactly who she is. That's who she is. I love it. Oh, anyway. Gosh, we're almost done here. I know there was something else I needed to get into, and what was it? Hold on. I did that. I did not. Oh, yeah, the CSCU. I may have to save that for tomorrow. Roseanne is going to be here on the show tomorrow. Let me see. We did that one, and yes, we already did that. That was the Erin Stewart story. We got to that as well. Let me see here. Oh, yes. There was this. We'll talk about this when we return. Facial recognition. That was a crazy story about the folks who are at the Delaney Hall ice facility in New Jersey. Apparently, they're using facial recognition on the protesters who were there. And lo and behold, they were the same people in Minnesota. How weird. A lot of people are under the impression that this was, organic, just New Jerseyans stepping out and saying, stop this madness. No. They're just traveling across the country. We'll talk about that a little bit as well. Kimberly says, I'm thankful for the Mayflower, if only for the improvement in dental care compared to the UK. You know what, Kimberly? You got to be thankful for something. We don't begrudge you for what you are thankful for. I think it's important that we show grace and generosity. No, not that. Gratitude. That's the word I'm looking for. We show gratitude wherever we can. There's no reason for that. Lori says, Harpies on parade. Totally hear it on the Rage tune now. Yeah, I don't know what else to call it. It's like after all of the nonsense, they go and do a podcast. For what? I don't know. I don't know what that was about. I'll take Jeff in Marlboro real quick. What's going on, big guy?
Hey, how you doing, man?
What's up?
How'd you know I was big?
I don't know.
So I just want to say to Houston, hey, you like electricity, you like the phone, you like indoor plumbing, maybe you should start liking America a little bit.
Why not? That's a hell of a consideration, by the way, Jeff, this is wild. You have to look this up. Do you know that there is a woman out there who is saying that the Wright brothers are not responsible for modern flight?
Yeah, I've heard that.
Did you hear about that? I'm sitting up going, why would anyone? What are you doing? It's an embarrassment. I just going, please stop. Either it's got to be a joke or our education system is just a mess. It just has to be.
I'd have to hear a pretty serious story about somebody, flying on a beach, somewhere.
You're just going, the Wright brothers did not invent modern flight. It was a brother from Tuskegee. I'm like, shut up!
I guess it was a bird, maybe. I don't know. But...
It was a blackbird from Mississippi. The Wright brothers stole the idea from. The bird was in the air. Shut up!
I have started to hear of such a story, but, there's all those, what do you ever hear of those Lincoln is gay stories?
Oh, my God, they did a whole documentary on it.
Yeah, I mean, they try and turn somebody who's liked a lot into somebody that, who he or she isn't.
Yeah.
Just to enforce their agenda, It's weird.
I don't, again, I feel like things like that are done because, as much as people are trying to be inclusive, I think the intent is always to diminish that individual. And how could it not be?
I think so, too.
Right? So if I say that the Wright brothers didn't invent flight, how is that to advance anything other if not to diminish the Wright brothers? And if it isn't based on the race of those two brothers, because that's what I'm saying. Like, are you trying to advance something? Like, I'll take the what do you know the story about the Jack Daniels, about the bourbon? Is it bourbon?
Yeah. Not exactly.
Okay, so apparently the Jack Daniels story was this sort of folklore that it was originally invented by a slave, and Jack Daniels took all the credit, and then that had to be sort of rectified. It was kind of a social media phenomenon, and then it caught some legs, and then, it had to be. And my sort of answer to all of this was, okay, so what was the purpose of doing this? Was that someone needed to give the credit to a black man so that what? Like, what was the end goal? I was like, well, he should get credit for it. I'm like, what is he getting credit for? Because
I would take a close look at the article or whatever you're speaking about, because the S in Jack Daniels is possessive. It's not part of his name. It's apostrophe S.
Right. That's a good point.
I don't even know. They probably don't even know what they're talking about.
Right,
so.
and that was my whole thing. It was like, my point is, what is the flex here? Like, okay, so a slave made liquor. I'm like, I don't know a prison in America where they don't make some in the toilet. Like, what's your point? Like, liquor's pretty easy to make, my friend. There's a guy right now without fingerprints making moonshine. What are you talking about? Like,
oh, yeah.
That's like, that's not a flex. I got to get out of here, Jeff. God bless you, man.
All right, take her easy.
You got it. Let's take another break. Let's get to some weather and traffic. Mark Christopher's here. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. That's how the Dukes became famous. Selling moonshine.
You mean the Duke boys?
The Duke boys. Them Dukes.
No, Roscoe, we're going to get those Duke boys. We're going to get them, boss. Oh, yeah. Did you ever jump over a ravine?
No,
in a car?
But listen to me. I watch them every Friday, hoping that I get the chance.
Me too. Oh yeah, absolutely.
No, you kidding me? I wanted everything to do. Generally, I don't care what anybody says about that flag. I love that car.
The car, yeah. Forget the flag. The car is just totally cool.
Damn right.
Totally cool. Roscoe, you get me those Duke boys, or I'm going to depromote you to dog warden. Oh, we're going to get them, boss.
And break every law to do it.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Flash and I are going to get the Duke boys.
The Odyssey app lets you jump back to the moments you missed from WTIC News Talk 1080. Download the free Odyssey app, search WTIC News Talk 1080, and tap earlier today to get started.
All right, we're back. Reese on the radio. You know, when my biggest problem is that I have this thing that I do. Sometimes I will download a subscription to something, and I have no idea how to get back into the account. So it's just there, not just buying something. And I have to be careful of that. I am not even certain what this service does, but I know that it's got my credit card information. So I'm going to have to fix that somehow, some way. I got to figure it out, find out how it was charged or why I didn't get rid of it. It's only $21, but it annoys me. It just annoys me. I do that all the time. I'm going to a Wolfpack game today. Is it? No? Yard Goats game. Sorry. Going to Yard Goats game tonight. And I don't know. This is another problem that I do have. Somebody emailed me my tickets, and now I don't know how to open up the ticket. I have the ticket. I just don't know how to open it. So I'm going to go down there. I have my seats, which I see where it is and what my row is, and I have no idea how to download the code, like how to do any of that. To be honest with you, the last time, see, it says here, access your tickets in My Tickets. And then I open it up, I go to the thing, and then it says MLB tickets, and then it goes to this thing and says, open up your account. And I don't have an account. Never had an account. I don't know how I'm supposed to do this. So I click on this, and then it says, do you have a password? I'm like, no. Then it says, you forgot your password. I'm like, yes. So here I'm sending myself an email. Then I got to wait for it to tell me, here's your code. So then I can get it. See, there it is. And now I have a passcode. And I don't think I'm going to have an account, but they tell me that I have a code. So there's the code there. And now it's telling me to sign in. And I think that's it. Enter this code and put it in there. Okay, there's the code right there. See if that works. This is what happens when you get old. This is just, or in my case, this isn't what happens when you get old. You know what the problem is? I'll tell you what the problem is. The problem is that I have no patience for this. And all the kids are grown. Usually you just let one of the teenagers figure this out, so you don't have to. But now they're all grown and they're out on their own, and I've got to figure it out myself. And it's really making me feel old. So I'm just going to move on and go to traffic while I try to figure this thing out and try not to be more frustrated. Mark Christopher, he's going to try to keep you from frustration, too. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. It doesn't look that bad out there, right?
No, not too bad at all. Do you have an MLB account?
No, and they're telling me to set up a new password and an MLB account, so I got to do all of that. Hopefully I'll get through so I can just figure out the tickets.
Is there anybody from the station there?
No.
You can just, no?
No.
Oh, because you say, hey, meet me at the gate and get me in.
Well, the last time we were there for K9 for Connecticut Vets, I just walked in and said, hey, I'm with WTIC, and they were like, yep, go on in.
Come on in. Yep, come on in.
I'm going to see if that works this time.
Yeah, I would.
If I don't
through all
figure
that.
this out.
Yeah, you're going to have to get an MLB account and get a password, and before that goes through smoothly, you'll probably smash your phone on it.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is.
You know who it is.
You know who it is. It's Reese on the radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
I figured it out. It's not that I'm lazy. It's that I'm easily frustrated. If it isn't simple, I just won't do it. I won't. Roland did this to me not too long ago. He made me participate in one of these crazy, what was it? Was it basketball, football? What was the thing that you made me do? It was football last year, right? You made me you had me a part of some pool thing. Oh, no. It was March Madness. It was March Madness. And you made me do it. And Roland figured it out because he's worked with me long enough. Roland came out of the studio, walked all the way in here into my studio, and sat here and made me download it and made me pick every team. He would not leave until I did. That's the way I have to be running. Because he would have said it to me, I would have never done it. And he knew it. He goes, you're never going to do it. I'm going to make you do it now. I'd already paid. How much money did I pay in this silly thing? $20? $20. Which, by the way, at the time, because I'm a miser, at the time, I did not want to give it. I didn't. I said, $20 for what? Can I tell you what the real deal is? Because we were talking about this in our morning meeting. Roland loves to play these games. Let's just call it what it is. He loves to gamble. And I don't know what it's about. I don't understand the thrill. I never will.
Competition.
The competition. Well, yes, for you it's competition. I will never get it. For me, I need substance from my money. Right? When I go to the movie theater, I will spend $100 for a family to watch it because I had an experience. It isn't like tangible, right? I saw something, right? I consider that a tangible experience for my money. Concert, same thing. I can, in essence, there is what I call a fair exchange for the money. Gambling, I do not feel like that's a fair exchange. I should get something. When I give money and I got to wait to see what the outcome is in order for me to receive something and I don't, I feel like I've been robbed. That's the thing. You guys have explained it or figured it out in your brain somehow that the reward or the exchange is the spending of the money and the risk that's applied to if you win or lose it. Is that what you consider the give back?
It's the thrill of the ride, of the emotional roller coaster that you're going to now go on when you're watching the game unfold.
Okay. And the screaming and the hollering that goes with it.
Yeah.
And that's thrilling for you?
It's fun.
Even when you're mad?
Yeah, that's part of the whole package. It's sometimes you're going to be happy, sometimes you're going to be mad, sometimes you're even going to be sad.
I would not pay for being sad. Like, I couldn't imagine someone paying for misery. That's dominatrix may turn an industry into that. It's torture.
Got a lot of married men and women that are paying for misery. So
but it's wild to me because I told this story. I've told this story 1,000 times. It's worth repeating. I wouldn't play the lotto for a long time. And it was one of the few times I want to say 2013, maybe 2014. And they had the Powerball or something, it had to be the Powerball, had reached $1 billion. It was like in May of that year. And I didn't want to play. Now, my ex-wife, Mary, was quite the gambler back in the days. I mean, it got real bad. Like, had to be bailed out kind of stuff. Not jail, but bailed out of financial obligations. And it got real bad. Even when we were separated, I had to bail her out of some jams. But she had said, we got to play. And I went, no, there's no reason for me to. I'm never going to see that $1 billion. And I did. And I spent $20 on it. And something happened to me that still bothers me today. And I'm telling you, I don't know if anyone else has experienced this, but it happened, and I'm ashamed that I experienced it. I don't feel good about having experienced this. When I went and bought those tickets and I put them in my pocket, I was so delicate in putting them in the pocket, making sure that I remembered where they were, and I put them in a safe space. And for days until that drawing, I was imagining myself winning. It was amazing. I was living. I saw my house. I saw the cars. I saw the investments. I saw the recording studio. It wasn't like I was going to turn into a podcast impresario. I was going to be it was going to be budgeting. And I was literally spending every dime of this $1 billion. And I was going to be a media mogul. I'll buy a radio station. That's what I'm telling you. This is what was going through my mind. And there were parts of me, Roland. There were some nights when I was saying in my heart of hearts, it could happen. I was believing it. I was willing it. I'm literally going to work every day going, come on, it's my turn, isn't it? I worked so hard. I would really I promise I'll do good works. I'll help out my family. I'm praying for it. It was an out of body experience. I don't even recognize that guy. And then when it happened, because remember, I don't know if you might remember, but this particular year, every week, the numbers didn't come up. Nobody won. And it was like, no, I need to go back and do it again. And I did. I did it again. I was hoping. I was playing the same numbers in most cases. And there it was. It didn't happen. And when it didn't happen,
you was devastated.
Oh, my God. Some guy won in Michigan. I still hate that guy. I wanted to look him up just so I could yell at him about winning my money. That's how much I thought it was mine. That when he won it, I felt like he didn't deserve it. It was the worst moment ever for me. I'd never experienced. I'm not a jealous person. I'm not a spiteful person. I'm not bitter. Used to be, but I'm not. I mean, I'm talking about not bitter since I was a kid. But I wasn't that person. But this guy won. I felt jilted. It was an incredible feeling. And I'll never forget that. And I walked away from it with the experience in my life kind of going, dude, that took you to some dark places. And I talk about it now a lot just to see how much I evolved from it or what I experienced, if it were good. And that's why I know that the gambling thing was never going to be for me.
Yeah. I mean, And it goes back. It depends on what you're actually gambling on. Like I don't really do a lot of. I used to do scratch offs and Powerball. I used to do that like years ago, but I stopped. Yeah. Even though last year, every now and then, if I may buy like a scratch off if I'm at a gas station just to mess around, I'll buy like a $20 scratch off. But other than that, and last year I watched I watched a guy scratch off a ticket in Mass, and he won $1 million.
Oh, it would kill me.
And he's already back mine. That $1 million is gone. Because when he explained it to us, me and my boy, he said you only get like $600,000 of it.
That's still a lot of money. And you know what I could do with $600,000?
He bought a house.
Oh, well, I wouldn't do that.
He always wanted to buy his own house.
Yeah.
So
well, that's great.
He was living with his mom.
Oh, yeah.
So he went and bought a house.
So
and we asked him how much he had left. He said like $130,000 he had left.
So now he's going back so he can win another scratcher to pay the mortgage?
No. He paid the house.
Oh, no, he paid the house off.
He bought the house. He bought the house full.
Oh, wow.
And
I understand you're not supposed to do that. But yeah, no, like I said, that kind of thing. You know, I'll buy a scratch off here and there, but in order for you to win like $1 million, you got to buy those $20, $25, $30 ones.
It was a $20 scratch.
Yeah, I will buy a $5 one or a $2 one, which will never win anything more than $4. And even then, I kind of go, that was $4. You know, whatever, it was worth it. I'll buy one for Roseanne now and again, just as a gag. But those things, they scare me.
He make you think. Like he said, this people. My family's was hitting me up left and right, and he was like, I had to tell him, like, you think $1 million is a lot of money, but it really isn't.
Yeah. You know, I would have said, like, come on, let me hold $5. Just $5. I would. Like I said, I did not like what it did to me. Again, I had already spent the money before I ever won, and when someone else won, I was the most bitter person ever. I was down. I mean,
you know the chances of you winning.
I know it didn't.
And you really,
I convinced myself I had a shot. I convinced myself I had a shot, but that's what $1 billion would do to you.
Yeah.
Or at least to me. That's the way I thought. Stevie V's on the line. What's up, big guy?
Hey, just remember you can't lose if you don't play.
That's right. That's the attitude. They can't win. Roland said you can't win either. What do you got for me, Stevie?
Well, something that maybe you can look into sometime. I understand the way that Connecticut income taxes, they really kind of do a number on you on the winnings.
Yeah.
It doesn't really help you offset your losings the way the federal government does.
That's right.
So, you know, it's one thing that I see people get in trouble because they won a certain amount of money, take time to pay income tax, and all of a sudden they're up the creek.
Hey, I look at it this way. Any money that's on the plus side, like I said, if I won $1 million in taxes, said I only get $500,000, I'd be like, I didn't have $500,000. I'll just take it. It's like, okay, you taxed me to death, but I didn't have $500,000. I'd be fine with that.
I've known about 7 or 8 people in my lifetime that actually won, you know, like $1 million plus.
Wow.
Not the big ones. I mean, we had a guy that worked next to me, a couple parents, a friend of mine's parents. So, you know, you probably have a better chance of just a regular lotto than you do Powerball or Mega Millions. Of course, the thrill of the billions is kind of gets in our blood too, you know. So I understand that.
Yeah, indeed. I would, like I said, I don't ever want to play again because I never want to have that feeling.
Gotcha. I sent you a link on Fred Flintstone.
I saw it. I'm going to go bet. Thanks, Stevie.
See you later.
You got it. Lori's in Glastonbury. How are you, Lori?
Hey there, sir. I am not a lottery ticket person. No. I'm not really a gambler at all, unless it's like Texas Hold'em for $5 with my family. But other than that, this whole discussion kind of made me think of something I did yesterday. Just the idea of like taking your chance, like paying money to take your chance on something.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to say this. I used to write a lot. Mm-hmm. I went to college because I listened to my high school English teacher, which I never should have done because she told me that if I didn't become a writer, I would have missed my calling. And in my estimation, all great writers smoked and drank. So immediately at like 18, I'm picking up a pack of cigarettes and I'm starting to like get into some Bartle and James wine coolers. But as I've grown older, and I taught high school English for several years, and as I got older, I just used to write like what were like little blog entries.
Yeah.
But I wrote one about how the time when I went to go climb Mount Fuji and how my asthma kicked in and I couldn't get to the top, but my students who I went on this trip with went to the top. So I'm at this like mid-mountain cottage. Anyway, it's like a whole story. Anyway, so I found that there was this writing contest for Writer's Digest. And it just randomly showed up on my Facebook. And I'm like, well, that's weird. I don't even read this magazine. I don't even pay attention to this stuff. But it was a writing contest. And I went onto my computer and I looked up that story about Mount Fuji. And I'm like, you know what? This is pretty good. And so I reworked a few things and I edited it. And I'm like, I think I'm going to enter this. And then when I went to enter it, it was a $35 entry fee.
You bailed out?
No. So I decided to go ahead and take the chance.
I've got literally 20 seconds, Lori. Did you win or no?
Half of me regrets it. Half of me has to wait until October.
Okay. Well, good luck. We'll definitely. I'll visit this story tomorrow. I got to get out of here, folks. As I always say, radio is free, so we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your minds. Sean Patrick, we love you and we miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, so plan your work and work your plan. Me, I'm Reese on the radio. You have a good night, pleasant tomorrow. We will see you. Be here back at 2. Lori, call in early. I want to hear the rest of this story. Mark Christopher's getting you home. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. And good luck on Wednesday, John Silva. We're out of here. Good night, Mark.